Test, 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 1, 2, test.
Human Torch was denied a bank loan today.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field here in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, as you will have the Wildcats taking on the Powell Panthers. I am James Branson, joined by Eli Manning tonight, our color guy. And the Wildcats are about to take the field. They have declined the toss and will defer to the second half, which means Powell will be receiving the ball tonight. The Wildcats are ready behind the sign, about to make their run out onto the field, as one of the new videos is playing on the scoreboard here in the north end zone. As the tension kind of builds, the band is on the field. Cheerleaders are about to run out as well. And the Wildcats will come out tonight in their all Cardinal uniforms. Their Cardinal tops, Cardinal bottoms, as well as Powell. They're going to come out in their all white uniforms. So a little bit of different contrast that we have here. It should be hopefully easy for us to see tonight, Eli.
Yeah, it should be a good game. We're running out on the field. Everybody's hyped. There's a big crowd out here tonight for the unveiling of the Jackie Pope Memorial. That was a beautiful thing, and it should be a great game tonight.
Really cool things that the school has put on before the game here. I know you may not have gotten to see it if you did not attend tonight's game, but they honored the 1975 state championship team here today, and they also honored, coming back was Coach Hale. Coach Hale, coach of the Wildcats for many years in the 70s leading into the 80s, as well as you mentioned, Jackie Pope Memorial, which is going to be put in place at the top of the steps. So every Wildcat from here on out is going to know hopefully who Jackie Pope is and be able to hit that sign as they come on down the steps, those legendary 72 steps.
Oh yeah, it's a legendary night tonight. We got all kinds of legends out here, so hopefully that leads to a good night on the football field as well.
The band is leaving the field presently, and as we said, the Wildcats will be kicking off to start the first half. Powell will be receiving. Eli, would you mind to run down the starting offense for the Powell Panthers for us tonight?
Right, so at wide receiver, you've got number 9, Adarius Redmond, and number 2, Jaden Collins. On the offensive line, you have number 56, Cameron Gann, number 58, Byron Finger, number 54, Anthony Priest, number 79, Warren Nolan, number 67, Jesse Messingale, and number 6 at tight end, Steven Souls Jr. The other wide receivers are number 4, J.J. Faust, number 11, Aiden Green, at quarterback, number 5, Jordan Potts, and then at running back, number 15, Brian Belcher.
And the Wildcats are going to take the field for the opening kickoff here. I believe that will be for the Wildcats kicking off. Brennan Pearson has done a great job for the Wildcats really all season long, put many of his kicks into the end zone, as well as had great coverage here. The Wildcat special teams has kind of been the story here of the first half of the season. I believe 3 straight games the Wildcats have come away with a touchdown on special teams, 2 block punts, and then there was another one that's just not coming to my mind right away. But Wildcat special teams have done a great job. The ball is teed up. Brennan is set to kick. The whistle is blown. Back deep to receive are the Panthers, standing at the 1-yard line. The Wildcats will be kicking into the end zone in Jackson Square, and it is kickoff time here in Oak Ridge. The ball goes in through the end zone for a touchback, so the Panthers will have the ball starting at the 20-yard line. Looks like the Wildcat defense here will have out some of the starters for us. Are Zach Steiner, number 70, number 77, Ethan Hewitt, J.K. Morgan at end, as well as Jacob Bervin, Brian Kelly. I believe Marcus Melton is out there, as well as Kendall Jackson. Elijah Rogers will be starting at corner. He is a new guy for us. And Powell has the ball first. Quarterback, 2 receivers each side. Hit ball at the 21st down. Handoff goes up the middle, and it's stuffed at the line there. A great effort by the Wildcat defensive line.
Hey, that's a good way to get started here. It's going to take a valiant effort from this defense today. Powell's offense they're firing on all cylinders all season, so we're going to have to get some good stops here.
Coming up is going to be second down. Powell, like many of the teams in the area, goes no huddle once again. 2 receivers each side of the quarterback. Quarterback is going toward the north end zone, away from Jackson Square. The running back is to his right. He's ready for the play as the defense is set. Takes the snap, drops back deep. Potts throws over the middle, complete for a first down. Is going to be tackled a few yards past the first down marker by Brandon Hayward there. Just a little bit of a slant route coming across the middle.
And that's all it was. Quarterback had enough time to set his feet, find his receiver. There was a little bit of a soft coverage on there, and he just found his man for a good 10-yard gain right there.
The Wildcats really have to be careful with Potts, as he can really scramble around and make some plays with his legs as he is ready for the play again. Takes the snap, hands off up the middle. Running back tries to cut outside, but he's stopped at the line by, I believe, that is Jacob Burvin.
Ooh, that was a beautiful play by Burvin. He just shot in right through the gap. The running back had nowhere to go, and that's a good stop right there.
Great stop by Jacob, and it's going to put the Wildcats once again, their defense 2nd and 10 here as Powell gets their play ready, and we're going to have 3 receivers to the right side of the quarterback as he moves toward the north end zone, 1 receiver to the left. The running back is to the left of Potts as well. Potts looking over the defense. Ready for the snap, takes the snap, drops back a little bit deeper, gets a little bit of pressure, but able to get a pass across the middle. That's over to number 11 for them. Brandon Hayward trying to chase him down. He gets all the way down to the Wildcat 30-yard line. That is, for them, I believe, number 11, Aiden Green. I believe that's his 2nd catch on the night.
Yeah, that was very similar to the pass just a little bit ago. I mean, he came in and we had soft coverage. We got a little bit of a blitz on him, but still couldn't get to him. He had all time, and then he got a lot of yards after the catch there. Can't have it.
1st and 10. We got 9:49 left on the clock. Potts takes the snap, under pressure, drops back, scrambles around, throws across the middle, incomplete. Defended there by Isaiah Rogers. Great job on his part.
I like it there. We had a little bit of more pressure up there, made Potts have to move around a little bit, and while we didn't get to him, his throw wasn't as accurate, and then number 14 came up there big with a big hand in there to knock it away.
My apologies there. That is Elijah Rogers, not Isaiah Rogers. So that is my fault on that. Coming back, 2nd down. Once again, long for the Panthers. Wildcats really have to step up here defensively. 3 receivers to his right. He turns, hands it off for a draw, goes right up the middle, and is stopped by J.K. Morgan.
Beautiful play right there. Not only was J.K. there, you had like 3 other Wildcats just waiting on him. They tried to do a little draw to kind of, throw us off because it looked like a pass, and we were waiting and snuffed it out. Beautiful play.
Wildcat defense was not fooled there on that play as they were able to get a stop. First stop that they had gotten all night on 2nd down puts them in 3rd and 10 here with 9:12 left in the first quarter. Potts comes back out, 1 receiver to his left as well as the running back, 3 receivers to his right. Potts ready to take the snap. He does. Wildcats come with a blitz. Potts drops back, gets away, pass away easily, but it is overthrown there. So the Wildcat defense bends. They get down to the 31, but are not able to come up with anything so far. It looks like the Panthers are thinking about possibly going for it.
You're right in that sweet spot where if you punt it might go in a touchback and it's a little too far for a field goal. So, I mean, they've had some success throwing the ball, so don't be surprised if they come out and go for it right here.
I believe the 2 passes they've hit, one was a slant route, one was almost a drag route coming across the middle there. So the Wildcat defense has to be careful with that. It looks as though the Panther offense is going to come out. There is a wing back to the left of Potts as well as a receiver and a running back. 2 receivers up top. Potts, 4th down, takes a snap. 8:55 left on the clock. He scrambles, he throws, lobs it up, incomplete! Brandon Hayward defending, and the Wildcats come up with a stop on the first drive of the game.
Woo, baby, I love it. That's how you stop a drive right there. You got them off the field, stop them on 4th down, give your offense some momentum. That's a great way to set the night right there. I love it.
Speaking of offense for the Wildcats, coming out, a little bit of a change. Kendall Jackson was announced as the starter. Kendall started on defense. I see DeJavis Dozier out there, and I believe I also see the Wildcats actually are going to go five wide receivers.
Right now. All right.
3 receivers to the left of Hayden Tarwater, your quarterback. 2 receivers to the right. 1st and 10, 8:50 left in the first quarter. Screen pass. Deflected up in the air and almost picked off. Is it? No. They called it incomplete. Hayden Tarwater threw a quick screen. The defender got there quickly. Ball popped up in the air, nearly picked off.
I mean, you had 3 receivers on that end, and you had numbers because there was only 2 defenders there. Unfortunately, the middle receiver could not hold the block, and the guy just fought right through it and busted up that play real bad. Not a good job there.
Nearly disastrous for the Wildcats, but they lived to play another down. 2nd and 10, 8:44 left in the first quarter. Tarwater. Oh, and the Panthers jump off sides. The number 1 recruit in the nation jumps off sides. Walter Nolan, a little too ready there on that one, Eli.
He was coming for him, but I guess he forgot that you ain't supposed to move until that ball moves. That's something we teach in middle school. I guess he forgot that.
2nd and 5. Wildcat offense needs to pick up yards here. A little bit of a tight formation. I believe Kendall Jackson in the backfield. Tarwater takes a snap, but the whistle is blown. Looks like possibly a procedure play before the snap. It was not a play clock issue. The play clock was at 13.
Brandon got a little ahead of himself, and he jumped a little first before the ball was snapped.
Brandon got a little ahead of himself.
He was ready to go.
Jumped off sides, so back and forth, up and down the down markers we go here as Wildcats back now in 2nd and 10. Clock hasn't moved in the last 2 potential snaps. That close formation to DeJavis Dozier near the line, as well as the 2 receivers to the left of Tarwater. Kendall Jackson in the backfield. Toss out to Kendall, blown up in the backfield. And that was just read really well there by the Powell Panthers. Kendall going to lose what looks like about 6 yards there.
I feel bad for Kendall right now. That looked like it hurt. But unfortunately, I mean, that was just a simple toss play, and we got no seal on the edge. That outside linebacker just fought straight up field, and the receiver out there just had no chance on him, and he just went right by him and drilled Kendall right in the side.
A few substitutes coming in. I believe Justin Crowley now in for the Wildcats. Same formation. 3rd and 16 for the Wildcats, and the Panthers jump off sides once again. So a lot of procedural penalties here in the first couple of downs for the Wildcat offense.
I mean, it's nice as long as we don't give it right back to him on the next play. But hey, you know who that was again? That was old number 1 Walter Nolan jumping off sides. He's just a little ahead of himself. Hopefully we can figure that out if he wants to play college ball.
3rd and 12 3rd and 12 for this down. 8:10 left in the first quarter. Hayden Tarwater back at quarterback. To his left, Kendall Jackson. Hayden takes a snap. Going to have to go deep under a lot of pressure. Nearly gets out of it, but is going to be sacked. Sacked for probably about a 5-yard loss. So it looks like the Wildcat offense is going to have to punt here on their opening drive.
And I mean, that was just the offensive line just kind of broke on that one. You had 2 guys fighting real hard. I think that was number 6, Steven Souls. And then Walter Nolan came in there to clean it up at the end. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold on long enough to get us the yards. But when you're in a 3rd and 12, it's a tough situation to be in, and you got to hold those blocks for just a little bit longer.
2 punters back for the Wildcats. That is Burvin and Kelly. Both potentially could receive it. Kick is going to happen at the 7:30 mark. Kick is away. End over end kick. Going to be fielded there by the Panthers. Panthers take it back up to the 40. 45 to the 50. And he breaks it over to the Oak Ridge sideline. Going to be tackled out of bounds there, I believe, by Brian Kelly. Nice touchdown saving tackle. Wish the coverage was a little bit better.
Oh, man, that dude is fast. I'm going to tell you what, there were 2 Wildcats just waiting on him, and he split them right down the middle, and then he was gone for 30 yards before anybody could even get him. We can't be kicking it to him if we're going to be successful tonight.
Needless to say, Wheeler's got a few wheels on that.
Ooh, doggy.
As the Wildcat defense deep in their own territory, going to have to come up with another stop here. They are at the 27-yard line of the Wildcats going into the north end zone.
This is where they lost it on 4th down. It's like they never left.
You're absolutely right. 7:19 left in the first quarter. Potts, 2 receivers each side, running back to the left. Potts takes the snap, looks downfield, looks short, looks long. He's going to have to scramble. Directs him deep, throws the ball deep into the end zone and way short. That fell at the goal line, And the receiver, I believe that is number 4 for them, it was Faust, standing in the middle of the end zone, not even close, and Potts has got a pretty good arm too.
He does, and unfortunately, he had all day to throw that. Like, we've sent a few pressure, but unfortunately, we only have 3 linemen right now, and I think that's just because of attrition to our defensive line, and so hopefully we can dial up some blitzes.
Potts going to come back, 2nd and 10, 7:12 left in the first quarter, takes the snap. Handoff goes up the middle. Not able to bounce it outside. Stacked up at the line once again. It doesn't look like the Panthers are going to be able to run on the Wildcats tonight.
Not tonight, baby, and that's what we got to start with. Stop them on them short yardage and put them in, nice and long distances. So hopefully we can keep that up and stop them on this pass play here.
Very active front here for the Wildcats. Not only the defensive line, but the linebackers flowing to the football. 3rd and 9 for the Panthers. 6:43 left in the first quarter. 2 running backs, 1 each side of Potts. 2 receivers to Potts' left, 1 to the right. Potts taking his time, trying to make the right play clock. Inside 5 seconds now, Potts switches the running backs. Potts, hands off, going outside, but once again met right at the line of scrimmage, maybe got 3 or 4 yards, but the Wildcat defense stops him on 3rd down once again, and it looks like they're going for it on 4th.
I mean, you're in that short yardage now. They got probably enough to go for it, and so now you got a manageable drive here.
Potts has 3 receivers to his left, running back to his left as well. Potts fakes the snap, really wants to possibly look over the play call. He walks toward his sideline. The defense for the Wildcats staying in place. I just kind of think here for a second they might fake it because that running back standing right behind the offensive line. Potts comes back right behind center. Wildcat defense stacking up all across the line of scrimmage there. Potts takes the snap under a lot of pressure. Can't get away from the sack, and he's taken down for a loss of 7 on 4th down. So like you said before, Eli, we punt it away, they return it, and we get the ball right back at the 32-yard line to take over.
I love it. And we sent the house on that one, and by God, we had 2 people just coming right in his face. He had nowhere to go. He had no time to think, and the defense is playing lights out right now. Look.
Wildcat offense coming back out. The linemen are Walker Rice, Ethan Hewitt, Zach Snyder, Samuel Bentley, and we'll check the other one off the top of my head. That would be J.K. Morgan. Wildcats have 4 receivers to the left of Hayden Tarwater. Handoff goes to Dozier. Dozier trying to bounce it outside, sheds a tackle, gets up toward the sideline, fumbles the football, but is going to be recovered for the Wildcats. An advantageous fumble and a great recovery. That might be Jakyron Pendergrass there, Johnny, on the spot.
Hey, heads up play there. We actually gained us an extra 4 yards there, but unfortunately we keep going to the left, and that left side is killing us. We need to go the opposite way and try to get some extra yardage here.
As Eli said, short side of the field, going to be 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats. 5:07 left in the first quarter. Tarwater looks like Dozier to his right. 3 receivers to his right. 1 receiver to his left. Tarwater fakes the snap, comes over, checks the sideline, gets a new play, tells his lineman. Back it behind center, takes the snap, hands off to Dozier. Dozier nearly breaks away, but it looks like he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. I think the Wildcats maybe need to open it up here a little bit and try to hit some of those middle passing routes.
Well, you got your bunch formation, so you're putting everybody in the middle, and we just keep going to the left. Have we run to the right yet? Like, I don't know, man. We keep going there, and we're not gaining anything.
It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Wildcats. 4:22 left in the first quarter. Tarwater, now Dozier to his left, still 3 receivers to the right. Tarwater wants to roll out, but the play is going to be blown dead at the line of scrimmage. Is not a delay of game because the play clock was at 16 seconds. Looks like it's going to be a false start on the Wildcats. So the Wildcats, once again, going to be backed up what might be about 3rd and 11.
Hey, when you're playing one of the top teams in the state right now, you cannot kill yourself. You cannot, get these penalties and put yourself in tough yardage. And so right now, this is just not what the Wildcats need.
And especially the Wildcat offense needs to get something going, give that defense, which has played stellar so far, a little bit of a break. Once again, same formation for Tarwater. Dozier to his right. Tarwater wants to roll right, throws back to his left, not able to complete it to anybody, and throws it out of bounds. And the Wildcats will live to see another down there. That actually might be intentional grounding because there was not a receiver in the area, even though Tarwater was out of the tackle box.
No, that's just, I mean, he had pressure coming from the middle and on his right side, and all of our receivers were on the right side, so we had trouble looking over that way. And again, you're in those long yardage situations. The offensive line's not going to be able to hold these top defensive linemen very long, so we've got to stop killing ourselves on third down or second and third down.
Looks like the referees are still talking it over, but they dropped the penalty right in the area of what should be or what might be intentional grounding. And that is going to be the case. And once again, intentional grounding in high school is different from college and NFL. Yes, you have to be outside the tackle box, but you also have to throw it in the direction or vicinity of a receiver. And in that scenario, the Wildcats did not. So that is going to back the Wildcats up all the way to their 13-yard line. This is going to be fourth and Big Ed's pizza here for the Wildcats, who are obviously punting.
It's not good, James. It's not good.
Two punters, once again, Kelly and Bourbon back deep. Bourbon looks like he's going to take the snap. He does. Kick goes in over in. Two returners back. That is number 13, Wheeler again. Wheeler tries to go up the middle, but not this time, says, who is that?
43.
Number 43. 43 for the Wildcats. That is Elijah Bradley in on the tackle.
Hey, all right.
Nice tackle and nice coverage there by the Wildcats, and especially by Elijah Bradley.
Hey, former Robertsville Ram right there, Elijah Bradley. I like it. Hey, we stopped him that time. He didn't get loose there. He's squirrely. He tried to cut through again, but we got him that time.
Nice coverage. Nice job there by the Wildcats on punt team, special teams. And the Powell Panthers going to come back out once again as there's two receivers each side of Potts. Potts takes the snap. He hands it off going outside here, and it's going to be a first down, I believe, inside the 25-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Powell. 3:54 left in the first quarter.
And that was just a simple little power play, and you had the guard pull around the tackle to kind of lead up. Unfortunately, that guard, I think, blocked about 3 of our people, and it sealed the edge, and that guy just went right around him, and it got 10, 15 yards.
Powell going to have it 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Potts hands it off. Handoff goes up middle, and it's going to be stopped at the line once again. Maybe a gain of 1 for the Panthers.
And that's what our defense is going to have to do. We cannot let them get outside on us. If we can keep everything in the middle, keep them going back in the middle like they just did, we'll have plenty of people to meet him.
It's going to be 2nd and 9 for the Wildcats. 3:35 left in the first quarter here from Blankenship Field. Powell is going toward the north end zone, away from Jackson Square. They have 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, running back to the left of Potts. Potts sets his offense and looks over the defense. Potts takes the snap, looks to his right, continues to drop back, feeling a little bit of pressure, wants to run, gets upfield, and is being pursued there by Kelly. Kelly, though, chases him all the way to the sideline, and where are they going to mark him out of bounds is the question. And it looks like, from my vantage point, he is just short of the first down marker.
Hey, that QB, Potts, is deceptively fast right there. He had a nice little stiff arm on Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly tried to close, and that stiff arm gave him just enough space to get up to the sticks, and I thought he got it, but he didn't, so it's 3rd and 1. But, again, that was just a simple little, he scrambled out and got it.
Like Eli said, 3rd and 1, 3:06 left in the first quarter here from Blankenship Field. Wildcats defense has played great so far. Been put in a couple of not advantageous situations as Potts comes out, has 1 receiver to his right, running back to his right. Potts, hands off. No, he doesn't. He keeps it around the end. 2 Wildcats there to tackle him, and they drive him out of bounds. One of those was Hundley, but it is going to be a first down for the Panthers inside the 10-yard line.
I mean, you think they're going to go right up the middle because that's where their big uglies are. They even got freaking Walter Nolan out there at tight end, and he just went right around the edge, and there was just nobody there until he was 5 yards down the field.
It's going to be 1st and 10, I believe, at the 7-yard line here for the Powell Panthers. Powell lines up 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wildcats need a big stop here. Running back to the left of Potts. Potts looks over Wildcat defense, takes a snap, looks to his left toward the 3 receiver side, scrambles out, going to be pursued by Bervin and throws the ball short, incomplete at the goal line once again for the Wildcats, 2nd and 7.
Hey, good coverage there. That's all you can say about that. Everybody was covered up. He had nowhere to throw it, and we did a good job. Let's see another day. Let's go.
Powell goes back and forth toward the sideline. They never really come in a huddle, but Potts all the time is probably going over toward the sideline, probably walking about 25, 30 yards every play just to get the play call, make sure it's the correct call here as we have 2:53 left in the first quarter. Second and goal from the 7 for Powell. Powell has a tight end to the left. Potts takes the snap, drops back, looks across the middle on a slant route. No, sir. Is that going to be complete? But they throw a flag.
Oh, man.
The refs throw a flag when the defender was trailing and not even interfered. The only thing that could have happened there was the receiver threw up his arms because he wasn't going to get to the football.
Hey, man, give that boy an Emmy right there. I'm going to have to say that. That was quite the acting job, I tell you what.
Looks like it's going to be 2nd and half the distance to the goal. So it's going to be about 2nd and 3.5, 2nd and 4 from the 4-yard line for Powell. It's going to be 2:48 left in the first quarter. Powell goes with a heavy set here. 3 running backs. I believe Nolan might even be in the backfield there for the Panthers as the Wildcats stack it up. Play is going to be stopped, however, and we have another flag on the play. What is the call? It is going to be false start on Powell. So either Powell crossed the neutral zone or as they got set, somebody lurched forward, but either way, very advantageous for the Wildcat defense because now Powell's back at this 9-yard line.
Hey, that gives us a little bit of breathing room. They had it. There's a lot of meat on that line right there. So we need a little bit of breathing room. So that helped us out right there.
As Eli said, they come out of their heavy formation. 2 running backs, 1 each side of Potts. Potts takes the snap. He hands it off, going outside, and it's going to be stopped nearly by the Wildcats, but shoved out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 4.
They got that yardage back, so that penalty helped us out. But now like I said, it's shortened. There's going to be a tough one right here, buddy.
3rd and goal from the, I guess they say, the 6-yard line. So I was a little wrong. My eyesight was a little off there. But it's going to be 2:43 left in the first quarter. I believe, if the Wildcats are able to come up with a stop here, I believe if you're Powell, you take the points and kick a field goal.
I mean, at this point, they are 0 for 2 on 4th down. So, I mean, you got to get some points at some point. But, hey, credit to our defense. Let's hope we can come up with another stop here.
Potts back at quarterback. Once again, running back each side, 2 receivers to his left. Potts takes the snap, drops back, wants to throw, scrambles a little bit to his right, throws in the back of the end zone! And I thought it was going to be picked off, but it is going to be a touchdown for the Panthers in the end zone, north end zone for the Panthers.
I mean, you had people coming. Potts scrambled out to his right to buy extra time. And unfortunately, he just kind of threw it up just enough to where his guy could jump up in between 2 players. And, unfortunate circumstance there for the Wildcats.
Kicking the extra point for the Panthers is going to be Stooksbury. Snapping is Lusby. And holding is Cole. Wildcats would like to have a block here if possible. Kick is up, and it is good. Powell leads 7-0 over the Wildcats. 2:35 left in the first quarter. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
Stooksbury to kick off for the Panthers. Beat for the Wildcats, number 11,
James Branson back here at Blankenship Field as we have kickoff. Stooksbury kicks it off high and deep down to about the 5-yard line. It's going to be fumbled there, but taken by Dozier. Dozier has it at the 10, sheds a tackle at the 15, down at the 20, and gets knocked down. But the Wildcats, I believe, are going to be flagged on this play, possibly a block in the back, but I'm not sure. As we wait for the call, I do want to make sure that we get our crew in for the night. We do have Mark and Shauna Haste here who do the statistics for us, as well as Drew Thomas and Alex Waraxa. We also have Andy Hudson as one of our cameramen. I am James Branson, and joining me also is Eli Manning, waiting for the call. It is going to be a chop block on the Wildcats, so the Wildcats will be penalized for that, which is going to back them up back inside the 15-yard line for sure. Would like to also say that thank Brian Bennett back at the station for producing tonight for us, as well as David Clary, who is executive producing tonight for us. So the Wildcat offense backed up to its own 10-yard line. 2:28 left in the first quarter. Tarwater, 2 receivers each side. Kendall Jackson to his right. Tarwater looks to the sideline to get the play call. As he does, he makes the change and puts Kendall over to his left. Tarwater takes the snap, hands off to Kendall. Kendall goes up the middle, makes a nice cut. He's down to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, and he stumbles down, barely tripped up, and that's the play that the Wildcats needed to get them going.
Oh, man, I think that was Hundley, wasn't it? Good Lord, he hit that hole so dang quick. And good Lord, he made one cut. Next thing you know, he's 10, 15 yards down the field. That was beautiful.
You're absolutely right. That was Hundley on the play, and the Wildcats go quick. Hundley once again. Hundley tries to get outside and going to be taken down. I thought it was almost a face mask there. They got back there so fast, but the judge on our sideline did not see it that way. The Wildcats are going to be stopped in the backfield for about a 5-yard loss, I'm going to call it. It's going to be second and about 14, 1:45 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was the same play, I think, and unfortunately he couldn't make the cut that time because he had 3 people waiting on him. And like you said, James, that was a questionable little call there that we didn't get, but hey, hopefully we can get the yardage back now.
Wildcats come out. Tarwater at quarterback puts, I believe, Jackson to his left, 2 receivers each side, and the Panthers jumped off sides once again, as it looks like it was Nolan and probably, from what I saw, number 33 for them as well. And I'm trying to look. I don't see him on my depth chart right now. No, I do.
Daniel Stanford.
Thank you, Eli. Daniel Stanford. So, once again, penalties on both sides. And they're actually going to call it on the Wildcats here. I guess Powell reacted to Oak Ridge jumping. I didn't see it, but doesn't mean it didn't happen. So it's going to be even longer for 2nd and 19 for the Wildcats. 1:24 left in the first quarter.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. Walter Nolan's coming to me like that, I might jump a little bit myself. So
he is a big fella. So Tarwater has his running back to the left. That is Jackson, 2 receivers each side. Tarwater throws a quick pass to Hayward. Hayward gets upfield and is not tackled, but forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line of the Wildcats.
Hey, that's a beautiful play when it's like 1st and 10, but when it's 2nd and 20, we got to get a little bit more yardage than that because it's still like 3rd and 15 now. But, these are the holes that we keep putting ourselves in.
Absolutely, and you can't do that, as Eli said, against a good team. But Tarwater back to the line, Jackson to his right, 2 receivers each side once again. Tarwater fakes the snap, looks to the sideline to get the play call into the Wildcats pretty quickly. Jackson goes to the left, 40 seconds left in the first quarter here. Tarwater takes the snap, looks to his right, throws to Hayward once again. Hayward dances on the sideline and gets up probably close to the 45-yard line. So another about 10-yard gain, but it's going to be 4th and about 6 for the Wildcats.
That looked like it was just a design read straight to Brandon there. They didn't look any other way, and it's 4th and 8. You got to get a little bit more yards than that.
Wildcat punt team is going to come on for the 3rd time. 2 pretty decent punts by Bervin. Both times, 31 seconds left in the first quarter. And one thing to be aware of here, if you're a Wildcat fan, both Bervin and Kelly are very, very fast and can fake it. I don't know if you fake it here, but they could. Bervin takes the snap, gets it up, nice high wobbly punt, gets it inside the 25-yard line, going to be returned by Wheeler. Wheeler dancing all around, but he's going to be tackled by Izzy Mitchell at the 27-yard line.
Hey, that's good punt coverage right there. You had people on all sides of him, so he had nowhere to go. There were no seams or anything. Great punt coverage right there. And hey, they're finally starting on the opposite side of the 50-yard line, so now the defense got a little breathing room.
Defense has breathing room for the first time in 2 drives. And one of the things to come out and think about here defensively is they did have a little bit of a rest. The Wildcats had a drive there that got them out closer to midfield, so a little bit of time for them to rest. You don't want them getting too tired, as Powell is going to have it 1st and 10 at the 27.5-yard line, 17 seconds left in the first half. Powell comes out, 3 receivers to the left of Potts, 3 to the right. Potts looks that way, tries to go on a deep corner route, connects, and the receiver goes out of bounds at about the 48-yard line is where they're going to put the ball down.
I mean, that was a nice, just a corner route right there. And Potts, we sent 3 people. Potts had all day to throw. That was zone coverage, and he went in between our safety and our cornerback, and it was just a nice pass right in between them, and nice game.
And I think you said sending 3 people. I think the Wildcats, one of the things that they've had success on so far is blitzing. And that is where they've been most successful. So it might be some of that happening here. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Potts drops back deep. 2 receivers each side. Looking to his right. Wants to go deep on a wheel route, and it's going to be incomplete. Just out of the arm's reach of that receiver, luckily for the Wildcats.
I mean, that was pretty good coverage from Jaden Williams right there. And, I mean, that was just Potts had a pretty decent throw right there. I'm not going to lie to you. We got a little lucky on that one. Luckily, they couldn't come up with it.
Going to be 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line of the Panthers, going toward the north end zone. 3 seconds left in the quarter. Handoff goes up the middle, and Panthers still cannot get anything going running-wise up the middle. And that's going to bring us to the end of the quarter. Powell leads 7-0. We'll be back in 1 minute. James Branson joined by Eli Manning back here at Blankenship Field. Also, we appreciate Mark and Shauna Hayes doing our statistics for us. Andy Hudson, Alex Waraxa, and Drew Thomas, Brian Bennett back at the station, as well as David Clary, executive producing for us tonight. Powell has it 3rd and looks like 7, just across midfield into Wildcat territory. First play of the second quarter. Potts drops back, feels a little bit of pressure right at the middle. It's going to be a screen pass. Incomplete! Rogers there on the defense, right at the line of scrimmage. Wildcat defense comes up with a stop once again.
That was beautiful, beautiful. We sent about 2 linebackers right there. We were mixing and matching right before the snap, so they didn't know where they were coming. Potts was on his heels the whole time, and they tried to do a little drag route. And then I think that was 14, is that Rogers right there? He just swatted it away. Beautiful stop on 3rd down.
Looks like Powell is going to punt. The freshman, Dylan Stooksbury, back to punt. Might want to try to put a little pressure on him, as he is standing at his 14 37-yard line for the punt. He receives it. The Wildcats do bring some pressure. Don't get to Stooksbury, but he was affected by the pressure because the ball shanked off to his right. It's probably going to be about a 20-yard punt maybe, as it looks like it goes out of bounds at the Wildcat 30-yard line.
Hey, that definitely helped us out because our return guy was back on the 10-yard line, and he could have easily got that. So, again, that gives us a little bit better field position. And, James, I think we're starting to get some yardage now. So, hopefully we can get a little something more going here.
Can get a little yardage. Hundley obviously had that nice play on that previous drive. Might want to see him get a couple more touches out there as well. The Wildcat offense will start on their own 28-yard line, 11:45 left in the first half here from Blankenship Field. The Wildcats are going to start 3 receivers to the right of Hayden Tarwater going away from Jackson Square end zone. I see Andrew Ferreira out there. Kendall Jackson is going to be the running back. I believe Justin Crowley is to the left of Tarwater, and the Wildcats are going to be penalized once again. I believe they let the play clock drop down, and that is going to be delay of game.
James, I'd be interested with just basically 1 quarter and a half how many penalties we have right now. I don't know if it's nerves or what, but we got to settle down and stop killing ourselves, man.
The Wildcat offense needs to get going here as Tarwater goes out and talks to one of his receivers. I believe that was Cam Barnett. Still has 3 receivers to his right. He looks to his right, comes back to his left, feeling a lot of pressure, and has to throw it out of bounds. And got to be careful that they don't get penalized again. He did throw it in the direction of Justin Crowley, who was downfield, but Hayden has to be able to stand there. If he's going to throw it away, throw it a little bit further downfield.
Hey, they sent a lot of pressure on that one. I mean, they've got 4 linemen, and I think they sent a couple of linebackers on there, so we almost just more people than we could block. And luckily, Hayden was able to get it out there.
2nd and 15, the Wildcats have it with 11:38 left in the second quarter. Tarwater changing the play, switches Kendall Jackson to his right. Tarwater takes the snap, tries to hand off to Kendall, tries to pull it back, but it's a little bit of a bobbled snap there. Ball came out very late, but the play was already blown dead. And the Wildcat offense, I think we could do some damage, but what has happened is we've been backed up so often because of penalties that we just haven't been able to get going.
Like, we're just so nervous right now. We are out of sync. We gotta just calm down and get some yardage here. Like right there on that last play, Tarwater, he was doing a read option. He was just thinking too much. He was gonna give it, and then he changed his mind at the last second. Like, we just gotta calm down right now.
Tarwater has 3 receivers to his right, 10:50 left in this first half. Throws the screen pass out to Crowley. Crowley catches it, get behind the block here. Goes out to the 25-yard line. He's going to be hit late.
Come on now.
And the ref doesn't throw a flag. I thought he was hit late. Maybe he wasn't, but that was from my probably Cardinal sunglasses here. And it's going to be 4th down for the Wildcats.
Hey, James, we all need a knee to the back. I mean, that's fine, right? You're out of bounds. Put a knee in your back. It's cool.
Wildcats are going to be punting once again, this time from the 25-yard line. Going to be 4th and about 13. 10:44 left in the first half here. Powell puts 2 returners back deep. Obviously, Wheeler is one of them. The other is number 22, which is Magnus. And I would try to punt it to Magnus, which Bervin does here, rolls end over end. Going to be a great roll here for the Wildcats. Goes all the way down to the 33-yard line of the Panthers. Great punt there. Obviously, you don't want to punt, but great punt. Flips the field, puts the Wildcats and their defense back on the opposite side of the 50.
Hey, I mean, like you said, James, it flipped the field. We're on their side of the ball now, and so hopefully your defense can keep playing great, keep playing lights out.
Powell's going to have it 1st and 10 with 10:31 left in the first half here. It looks like Powell's going to come out with 5 wide receivers, so Potts is going to be back there by himself. This may be because the Wildcats have been blitzing a little bit. And in order to make them cover and give Potts a little bit more time, they go 5 wide receivers, 3 to the left of Potts, 2 to the right. Jordan comes to his right, throws it quick out to number 11. It's going to be tackled out of bounds by Rogers. And people will say that was a rough tackle, but that was in bounds. There's nothing wrong with that tackle there.
No, he was totally in bounds. He got slung out of bounds, so don't say anything about it. I heard some oohs on that one. There wasn't nothing on that.
That would be Green there on the reception for the Panthers, and it's going to be second and short, about 1 yard left to go to get the first down. At the 30 or at the 43-yard line are the Panthers. 10:24 left in the first half here. One running back to the left of Potts. He hands it off, tries to go up the middle once again. And, I'll give Powell credit on this play. In order to pick up the first down, you might want to hand it off. But they have gotten nothing all night long up the middle.
Hey, we're stopping them on the run, and it's usually putting us in some good down and distances. Unfortunately, they only need 2, and that's what they got. They got 2. So
it's going to be Powell here having a first down just across the 45-yard line, maybe right at the 45-yard line. 9:55 left in the first half. Powell's going to come out once again. 3 receivers to the left of Potts, 1 to the right. A running back almost kind of in front of him to his right. And Jordan Potts is going to drop back. Looking downfield once again, wants to go deep and way overthrown. I believe he was trying to get it to number 2 for them. And I'll say this about Potts. He's been pretty accurate on the medium to short passes. So far tonight, he's been overthrowing a lot of the deeper passes.
He just kind of threw it up there, and he was throwing towards the left side of the field, and the receiver was going towards the right side of the field. So luckily they were a little miscommunication. And even then, that was kind of over his head anyways.
It's going to be a 2nd and 10 once again for the Panthers. They were trying to get it there to Collins, and the Panthers have it, 2nd and 10, 9:36 left in the first half. Potts takes the snap, fakes a handoff, goes a screen route out to his left. There's going to be a nice tackle there, and it runs out of the tackle, does the Panther, and gets up the first down across the 50-yard line to the 41 of the Wildcats.
That's a simple little key pass there, James, and on those kind of passes, you either got to break it up right off the block and break it up before you can get going, but there was unfortunately nobody there to help out the tackler, and he was able to shake it off and get a first down.
Quick moving first half we have here at Blankenship Field, as hadn't really had any chances to take breaks from the possessions, just going back and forth. Jordan Potts once again takes the snap, 1st and 10, throws a little quick route out to a little hitch route out to his receiver number 4, gets tackled at the 35-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 4 for the Panthers with 9:15 left in the first half.
I think they went 5 wide there, and right side of the field just did all hitches, 5-yard hitches, and our guys were playing off, and he just got it out there quick before any kind of blitz could get to him.
That would be Faust there on the tackle. One of their more speedy receivers, I believe Redmond, has not touched the ball so far tonight. Obviously, we want to keep it out of his hands. He's got great speed, great athleticism. Potts is going to have 2nd and 4. 2 receivers to his left, 2 running backs in the backfield with him. Handoff goes to one of those running backs, and it's blasted in the backfield. Number 13, Collins, cannot get past the defensive line of the Wildcats.
Hey, our defense is killing the run right now. They cannot run on us, so that's always a great thing. You always want to stop the run, and that puts us in a 3rd and 5. So now, hey, we can come up with a 3rd down stop right here. We'll be all right.
Got to have a 3rd down stop to get off the field. If you push them back, you push them out of field goal or trying to go for it. And so Wildcats would love to have that. 8:14 left in the first half. Once again, Potts has 2 running backs in the backfield with him, 1 each side. He takes the snap, fakes a handoff, goes a slant route across the middle, is underthrown, and is going to be incomplete. Jordan Potts not able to convert to his receiver there.
Yes, sir. Hey, we brought the house again, and that was able to speed up that throw so Potts couldn't step into it, and he underthrew it there right at the feet of the receiver, so good stop right there. And, hey, good job there.
Looks like Powell's offense is not coming off the field, and Jordan Potts is going to come back out. He's going to have the running back with him there. That is going to be 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He's got to get the play off here. Feeling a little bit of pressure. Right across field. It's going to be picked up. Picked up by the Wildcats, and the return goes up the middle. He's going to go down to the 30-yard line. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. End zone goes Number 17 for the Wildcats, Jaden Williams takes it to the house.
Yeah, buddy! That was beautiful! Stepped right in front of him. We got nice pressure on him and took it through the house.
Nice play on the crossing route. Jaden Williams stepped in front of a slant route, spun out of a tackle, used the speed that we've all seen, and tied this game up with the extra point to come. Nice play. The holder is going to be Melton. The kicker is going to be Brennan Pearson. Snapper, Riley Hudson. Kick. Up and good. We have a tie game. 7-7 left. Or 7-7 game. 7:48 left in the first half. We will be back after this 1 minute timeout. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field, joined by Eli Manning. Wildcats tie it up on a pick six. Brendan Pearson to kickoff. Kickoff goes, bounces at the 10, goes into the end zone, and you can't bring it out this time, Wheeler. And the Powell Panthers are going to start at their 20-yard line. The best field position since the opening drive the Wildcat defense has had all night.
Oh, yeah, now you got some energy. You got the crowd back into it. You got the sideline excited. Now you got some momentum, and the defense is playing lights out right now.
The only bad thing about the pick six is your defense goes right back out on the field, but we have a tie game. That's the key there.
Hey, I know it kind of stinks as a defensive player because you just got off the field, but, hey, you're energized. You're like, hey, we just stopped and we just took it to the house. Let's do it again right here.
Wildcat defense comes back out. A couple of subs in the game. Do the Wildcats bring in? I believe Hunley comes in for the Wildcats as well as Kendall Jackson stays in.
Hey.
Elijah Rogers stays in. It's going to be 1st and 10. Handoff goes up the middle. Powell breaks one out, and by breaks one out, I mean 7-yard run.
I mean, hey, that's one of their best runs of the night right there. And unfortunately, we just had our guys kind of got walled off, and then he just cut back a little bit, and he was able to kind of shed a tackle there. But, hey, I mean, that's their best run so far. I think we can step back up here.
Powell has the ball once again at the 28-yard line of the Wildcats, 2nd and 2. They take the snap, handoff once again goes up the middle, and they do that just to get enough for the first down, which I believe they will have here, and they will have their first down at 7:10 left in the first half.
Hey, that's the type of run they're getting all night is 2 yards. So if we can do just a little bit better job of, not getting those 7-yard runs, we'll be fine.
I believe Jaden Williams just came back into the ball game for the Wildcats after he took that long interception. I believe it was about 70-plus yards back for a touchdown. And Powell will have 1st and 10, 2 receivers each side, and 2 running backs each side of Potts, who is in the backfield. Potts takes the snap, handoff to one of the running backs, and he gets hit in the backfield and is able to get upfield and tackled out of bounds at the 35, 36-yard line, and a late flag comes all the way from the middle of the field.
I mean, we had him in the backfield there, and unfortunately he was able to just kind of run through those arm tackles that we had, but we had guys there, and hopefully this isn't against us, but I'm not sure, James. I didn't see it.
We'll hope it's a holding call on one of the blockers for the Panthers and hopefully back them up. Mike Sheehan, our additional statistic over here, corrected me, 71 yards correct on that, and he gives me the thumbs up that I was correct. So as we wait for it, it's going to be a face mask on the Wildcats, which will give the Panthers a first down with 6:34 left in the first half here. As they're waiting to step off the yardage, they're going to tack it on to the end of the run. It is going to be a 15-yard penalty, so it is a personal foul, not just a touching or grasping the face mask. So Powell now is in Oak Ridge territory at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
Gotta watch those hands. Sometimes it's a little easy when you're flying around for an extra hand just to kind of grab onto something. And unfortunately, we grabbed the face mask there.
Powell comes back out, 3 receivers to the left of Potts, 1 to the right of Potts, running back to the left of Potts. And he gets the snap, and it's going to be a false start on the Panthers as I believe it's Green was just a little anxious to get out of the gates there.
I think he had a nice fly route, like a go route, because he went full sprint down towards the end zone. He was so excited. He was like, it's going to be mine. But he jumped a little early there. So
it's going to back the Panthers up to 1st and 15, back over across the 50-yard line, back in their own territory at the 48. And it is going to be 1st and 15 this time, 6:33 left in the first half. Powell comes back out, same formation. Potts takes the snap, looks to his left, continues looking. He's going to be put under pressure by Kendall Jackson and taken down in the backfield at the 37-yard line. And Jordan Potts was a little slow to get up on that play.
I bet that didn't feel good. He never saw Kendall. He came off his blind side. Kendall just ran him down. Big hit by Kendall Jackson.
And Potts is hurt. Potts has not looked up to get the play call, and he is looking down. And if I were the Panthers, I might consider bringing him out. I mean, I know he's your guy, but he just now looked up to get the play. It's going to be 2nd and 25. Wildcat defense stepping up huge tonight. 5:50 left in the first half. Wildcats need even more pressure, need an even bigger stop. Love to get a turnover once again, and the Panthers, I believe, were about to be called for a delay of game, and they called the timeout. We will take it with them. 7-7, tie game, 5:44 left in the first half. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field. 2nd and 25 for the Panthers. They hand it off, going outside. Wildcat defense pursuing, going to be stopped there by Brian Kelly. And I believe that was Jai Hunley on the stop for the Wildcats. 3rd and going to be about 20.
Beautiful job by Brian Kelly right there. He tracked him down from the middle linebacker spot, and he got nowhere on that one. Great job.
Nice pursuit there by the Wildcat defense. 3rd, and they're going to call it 23, so only a 2-yard gain. Powell is not able to get the running game going. They're going to have to pass it here as they have 5:09 left in the first half, and there is going to be a stoppage of play here. I'm wondering, the play clock is at 25, so it looks as almost it didn't get reset or something. The white hat is going to come over and talk to the official. They call it official's timeout. So, Eli, what do you have to do here if you are the Wildcat defense to get the offense back on the field?
Hey, it's what we've been doing. Pressure Potts. Put somebody in his face. He just got drilled on the last play. He's hurting right now. He's going to have them happy feet. Get somebody on him. Make him hurry that throw. You might get another interception right there.
Might get another interception as we see Kendall Jackson coming back into the game, hopefully from that left side, able to come off the blind side when Potts rolled to his left. And they are discussing, I believe it is a play clock issue that they have talked to athletic director Mike Mullins about, has the referee. And a little bit of an abbreviated timeout here for both teams. Get a little bit of a rest. And the clock is going to be wound. We have 5:03 left in the first half. Potts has the Panthers, and he has two receivers to his, or one receiver to his left, one to his right, two running backs in the backfield. Potts takes the snap, feeling a little bit of pressure once again, heaves it downfield, and it's going to be complete at the 18 or 17-yard line. And just the ball hung in the air for so long, it just allowed, I believe, Redmond to run under it and make a catch.
Yeah, I mean, Kendall is just a half a second too slow on it. I mean, he was coming for him, and Potts just threw it up there, and unfortunately, I think he just threw it as hard as he could, and unfortunately, their guy was able to get under it.
It's going to be a first down for the Panthers as Faust was injured on the play, as Eli said.
No, I thought that was Potts. My bad. I thought Potts got hurt on that one because I saw Kendall get to him.
As Eli said, Kendall got to him, and I believe Faust may have been rolled up in the pile there as he had a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. So Powell's going to have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line of the Wildcats. 4:45 left in the first half, and the Wildcats take a timeout. We will take that 30-second timeout with them. Powell and Oak Ridge tied at 7. James Branson along with Eli Manning back here at Blankenship Field. Powell and Oak Ridge tied at 7. We would also like to thank Mike Sheehan, who joins us, Mark and Shauna Haste, Alex Waraxa, Drew Thomas, Andy Hudson, our crew tonight, along with Brian Bennett back at the station, and David Clary, our executive producer tonight. We would also like to give a shout out to all of you that are listening everywhere on 92.7 FM or prepradio.com or Channel 15. We know that Coach Gaddis' mother is listening down to us in Florida, so we have listeners all over the place, Eli.
Hey, all right, I like it.
Potts has the Panthers inside the 20-yard line of the Wildcats. He takes the snap, goes up high with it, hands it off to number 3, blasted in the backfield, didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to run tonight for the Panthers.
No, sir. Defense is playing great against the run. Just keep it up, man. Keep it up.
Panthers are going to be dropped for a 1-yard loss. It's going to be 2nd, and I'm going to say 11. They may not say 11, but I'll say 11. And 4:20 left in the first half. Wildcat defense, you'd love to come up with another stop here. Panthers have the ball. 1 running back to the left of Potts, 3 receivers to his right going toward the Jackson Square end zone. 1 other receiver to Potts' left. Potts takes the snap, looks to his left, throws that way, going to be complete at the 3-4 line. Stumbles down to about the 1 or 2 where he's tackled, and the Panthers pick up a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Is that Wheeler again? Is that little fast kid? Oh, Redmond. Oh, he's just as fast too. I mean, that was just a slant pass, one of the hardest passes to cover in defense or in football. And I mean, they hit that so fast. We had no way to get onto the QB right there, and that's just a tough play to defend.
The Panthers bring in their heavy package. Walter Nolan comes in as a blocking back. They have 3 running backs and Potts, a whole slew of linemen. Potts takes the snaps, handoff to Nolan, who powers through, tries to get in the end zone, doesn't, and the Wildcats were trying. The Wildcats were trying to swat the ball away. He was stretching it over, but they say that he got across, and gotta love the fight from the defense there. They never gave up.
Yeah. We had like 5 guys on him. Doesn't help that he's like 300 pounds. Good Lord. We almost had him. Dang.
Powell scores with 3:23 left in the first half. It is going to be Stooksbury on to kick. It is going to be Lusby with the long snap, and it's going to be Cole to hold for the Panthers. Wildcats would love to have a block here and keep the score at 13. Kick is up, and it is good. Powell leads 14-7 with 3:23 left in the first half. We will be back after this 1 minute timeout.
Super to kick off for Powell. Deep for the Wildcats. Number 11, Xavier James.
James Branson back here at Blankenship Field. Powell and Stooksbury about to kick off. Wildcats have three pretty dangerous receivers deep, and Stooksbury kicks it out of bounds. It's going to be a penalty against the Panthers, and it's going to bring the ball out to the 35-yard line. So it doesn't go into the end zone, goes to the sideline. It's going to be great field position for the Wildcats.
Hey, that's what we need. We can get a drive started here. We've been starting to get some yardage going on here. Hopefully we don't keep shooting ourselves in the foot with some penalties and get a drive going here.
Wildcats are going to start at their 35-yard line with 3:23 left in the first half. Would love to get a score here at the end of the half, down by a touchdown, because you get the ball coming out of halftime.
Oh, that would be great. I mean, and what I like to reiterate, like, we're only down one touchdown. As our student section was just chanting, we're still in this. This is a great ball game, and we're doing just fine.
Tarwater, two receivers each side. He looks to his left, throws over there to Peyton Sharp. It's going to be caught for about a 5-yard gain, and eventually wrapped up by a slew of Panthers there at the 40-yard line.
Hey, that's all you need right now. They're starting to send a lot of pressure, and our offensive line is having a tough. I mean, their defensive line is great. But let's give credit where it's due, and that's what the kind of passes we're going to need right there. Just some quick outs, tire that defensive line out because they can't get back there. Get us some yardage. 2nd
and 4 for the Wildcats. 2:50 left in the first half. Tarwater takes the snap, looks deep, has got plenty of time this time, rolls to his left, gets shoved out of bounds. Not going to call a penalty, I believe, because the contact occurred before he got knocked out of bounds. But Hayden had time that time.
Hey, he had quite a bit of time right there. The offensive line held their ground there. He was able to look around, and he scrambled out, and we're still fighting. So
the Wildcats are going to have 3rd and 7 with 2:44 left in the first half. Positive there is that the Wildcats got out of bounds, so the clock stops even though we have 2 timeouts remaining. Tarwater is going to have 2 receivers bunched to his right near the Oak Ridge sideline, 1 to the left, and the Wildcats are going to be penalized. But I think they throw an interception there toward Brandon Hayworth's side, but I think the play is going to be called dead because the Wildcats false started. They were not set at the line of scrimmage, but I could be wrong here.
Illegal shift?
That should be an illegal shift or illegal motion because the receiver to the Powell sideline was not set. He moved forward toward the line of scrimmage, so hopefully the play won't have happened. It's going to be an illegal shift against the Wildcats. Penalty is going to be declined, so the interception will stand, and the Wildcats turn the ball over in their own territory at the 37-yard line.
That was just not a good play. I don't know if we weren't set. It was just not a good throw. It was into double coverage right there. Not what we needed.
Like you said, I think the Wildcats were not set and threw the whole timing of the play off. Powell's going to have it at the 38-yard line of the Wildcats. 2:34 left in the first half, going toward the Jackson Square end zone. Potts drops back, long drop, wants to go deep. is able to get up some pressure under him, and it's dropped back at the line of scrimmage as he's scrambling around. Good stop there by the Wildcats, especially in the coverage.
Hey, that's good coverage sack right there. That's all that was. He dropped like a 7-yard drop right there, 7-step drop. We brought some pressure right there. Coverage was great. He had to run for his life, and we were able to get to him.
2:10 left in the first half. Going to be 2nd and 11 for the Panthers. 2 running backs to each side, or 1 to each side of Potts, 2 receivers to his right. Potts takes the snap and believe that it's going to be penalized once again against the Panthers. I think number 11, Green, was trying to get a head start once again.
Man, he's just happy to get going, man. He just wants to go. He wants to go fast. I guess he's Ricky Bobby over here. I don't know.
It's going to be 2nd and 16 for the Panthers. Backs them up close to the 45-yard line. They're going to set the 6 sticks down at the 43-yard line of the Wildcats. 1:58 left in the first half here. Powell's trying to get the play organized. Potts is wandering around, telling his running backs the play call. 1 receiver to the left of Potts, 2 to the right, a running back each side of him. He's going to take the snap at the 48-yard line, drops back to the other side of the field, throws a deep out route. Going to be tackled there by Elijah Rogers, though.
Hey, great tackle there. I mean, that's just by Jaden Williams right there. That was just a simple out play. I mean, that's a pretty big play by him. We sent quite a few guys. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get to him. And now you got a 3rd and short right here.
Going to be about 3rd and 5 for the Panthers at the 33-yard line of the Wildcats. 1:07 left in the first half here. 2 receivers to each side of Potts. 3 to his right, 1 to the left. Running back to the left. Potts looks for a quick pass once again. Gets it out to Redmond. Tackled once again there by, I believe, Jaden Williams.
James, I think we're so afraid of those deep passes that we're playing so far off. And on 3rd and short, you got to know where the sticks are. And so our guy was just too far back. He was too far away from the sticks, and their receiver just went right for the sticks and did a little hitch.
Once again, Potts comes to the line. 1st and 10, 37 seconds. Potts drops way back, feeling a lot of pressure, and he gets the pass away. It's going to be to the running back. He gets out to the 15, to the 10. He keeps driving his legs inside the 5, and is going to be tackled there. And it looks like the Panthers take a timeout with 26 seconds left in the half, and they do. We will take that with them. Powell leads 14-7. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field, joined by Eli Manning. Powell has the ball, 1st and goal at the 5-yard line, 26 seconds left in the first half. Potts has 3 receivers to his left. Looks to his left, drops way back, throws back to his right, out to the receiver out of the backfield, and he's going to get into the end zone, and it's going to be a Powell touchdown with a late score, 21 seconds left on the clock, and just a tough play there to defend for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I think that was the same. Ooh, we got somebody down there. Cramp.
I believe we have a injured Wildcat, maybe a cramp on the field, and I believe that is Elijah Rogers that is down. We would like to take this time to thank one of our sponsors, which is Donnie Sharp. This injury timeout is brought to you by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. When you're injured, call Donnie at 888-5431. Donnie will make sure to get you taken care of. As the Wildcats give up a touchdown on that play, you were saying, Eli. Just a little bit of a running back right out of the backfield.
Yeah, and that's real tough to defend because usually that's a middle linebacker having to come out there with him. And I think that was the same play, or at least the same concept as the first down they got on the previous play. And basically the receivers just run off all the backs. And, like you said, you got a middle linebacker on a running back, and that's real tough to defend out in space.
Got a procedural penalty going to be called here, and it looks like it is going to be on the Wildcats. So the ball is going to be moved 1.5 yards closer to the goal line at the 1.5 yard line. No, it's not. Powell's going to decline the penalty. I'm not sure why you would decline that penalty, but Powell declines the penalty. So they will kick from the original spot. Stooksbury to kick, Lusby to snap, Cole to hold. Snap is good, kick is up, and it is good as well. Powell leads 21-7 with 21 seconds left in the first half. We will be back after this 1-minute timeout. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field, joined by Elam Manning. Stooksbury just pops it up. It's going to be taken there, I believe, by Bervin. Bervin keeps his legs driving, gets up to the 37-yard line of the Panthers. So a decent field position here if the Wildcats want to do something with about 16 minutes left in the first half.
You're down 2 here. You get the ball back at the second half. I wouldn't be surprised if they just do a handoff or a kneel and go to half down 2.
Would like possibly to see Jai Hunley get a carry here or so. Maybe see what we can do, but I believe Kendall Jackson comes into the game. The only reason I mentioned Jai is he had that one nice long run that gave Oak Ridge a first down, but it looks like Hayden Tarwater is going to be going under center. Might take a knee here as he does and head to halftime down 21-7. And the Wildcats will, like Eli said, get the ball to start the second half, so that is a positive. Eli, your thoughts here on the first half and what the Wildcats could do to come out in the second half?
Hey, we're playing lights out on defense. Defense is playing great. Unfortunately, I just think they're getting a little tired now. They've been on the field an awful lot this game. Offense, they're having some spurts here and there, but overall we just can't sustain any drives. We're going to have to hit maybe some shorter routes to kind of get their line, off our quarterback or off our running backs a little bit, open some lanes up. Hopefully we can get some drives going to give our defense a little bit of a rest here, but we definitely got to get a little bit more going offensively to give our defense who's been playing outstanding some rest.
Oak Ridge trails 21-7 going into halftime. We will take a 3-minute timeout. We will talk with Mark and Shauna Haste, who will have our halftime statistics, and hopefully we can talk to Mike Sheehan a little bit here as well. Once again, Wildcats trail 21-7. We'll be back after this 3-minute timeout. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field, joined now by Mike the Wild Man Sheehan for our scoring summary of the first half.
Thank you, James. I appreciate that very much. To get things started, the Powell Panthers got on the scoreboard first with 2 minutes and 28 seconds into the first quarter. Jordan Potts threw a 6-yard touchdown pass to Aiden Green to put the Powell Panthers on the board 6-0. Then Dylan Stooksbury came in and kicked the ball between the uprights for the Powell Panthers, and they led 7-6. Then in the second quarter, three scores were had in the second quarter, with Oak Ridge finally getting on the board with 7 minutes and 48 seconds left when Oak Ridge's Jaden Williams intercepted a pass from Potts and returned it 71 yards, a spectacular run back by Jaden Williams. I thought he was going to get caught, but he was fast enough, strong enough, and determined enough to get into the end zone, and the Wildcats only trailed by 1 point. They came in and kicked the extra point between the uprights, and the Wildcats, Efren Rodriguez, tied the game up 7-7. Then with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the game, the Powell Panthers drove the ball all the way down to the 2-yard line, where by far and away the largest and most talented football player, maybe in the state of Tennessee, ran it in from 2 yards out. Big Walter Nolan, 6'4", 310-pound senior from Powell High School, put it in from 2 yards out, and the Panthers led the Wildcats 13-7. Then Dylan Stooksbury came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Panthers led 14-0. Then with 21.8 seconds left in the first half, Jarvis Stockton caught a 5-yard pass from Jaden Potts, and the Panthers went up 20-7. And then Dylan Stooksbury came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Panthers lead it to halftime 21-7. I want to give a quick shout out to the 1969 captain of the Oak Ridge Wildcats, Tommy Thompson. Tommy's wife passed away sadly yesterday, and he's having a rough go of it. I just want everybody to know I love that man, and I hope his life gets better. Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to James.
Mike, thank you very much for that scoring summary. We will go ahead and take a quick break. I know Mark and Shauna are working to finish up the statistics there, so we'll be back after a 3-minute break for a rundown of statistics brought to you by Mark and Shauna. Haste. Branson back here at halftime as we are about to have the Haste halftime report. We'll send it over to Mark Haste with our halftime statistics.
Thank you very much, James. At the half, Oak Ridge trails Powell by a score of 21-7. Look at the first half statistics. First for Oak Ridge, they're led on the ground by Jay Hunley. He has 25 yards on 2 carries. DeJovis Dozier has 4 yards on 2 carries. Hayden Tarwater, 2 carries for netting minus 10 yards, and Kendall Jackson, 2 carries netting minus 16 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats have rushed the ball 8 times in the first half, only gaining 3 yards on the ground. Through the air, Hayden Tarwater, 4 of 7 for 26 yards passing. He has 1 interception in the first half. Receiving for the Wildcats, they're led by Brandon Hayward. He has 2 receptions, totaling 14 yards. Peyton Sharp has a 6-yard reception, and Justin Crowley has a 6-yard reception as well. Oak Ridge had 1 first down in the first half. They were penalized 6 times for 49 yards. So on the ground, Oak Ridge had 3 yards on 8 carries. They had 26 yards through the air on 4 receptions for a total offense in the first half of 29. Now looking at the Powell Panthers, they're led on the ground by Jarvis Stockton. He has 26 yards on 12 carries. Jaden Collins has carried the ball 3 times, totaling 19 yards on the ground. Walter Nolan came in late in the first half to get a 2-yard touchdown run. Connor Wheeler has 1 carry for minus 1 yard, and then Jordan Potts, the quarterback for the Powell Panthers, has 5 yards, or rather 5 carries for minus 5 yards. So as a team, the Powell Panthers have carried the ball 22 times, totaling 41 yards on the ground. Through the air, Powell is much more successful. Quarterback Jordan Potts is 13 of 23 for 204 yards through the air with 1 interception. Receiving for the Panthers, they're led by Darius Redmond. He has 72 yards on 3 receptions. Aiden Green, 4 receptions, totaling 63 yards. J.J. Faust, 2 receptions for 26 yards. Jarvis Stockton has 2 receptions for 22 yards. And then Jervis Brown rounds out the receiving core for the Panthers. He has 2 receptions for 21 yards. So, as a team, Powell Panthers have 41 yards on 22 carries. They have 204 yards on 13 receptions for a total offense tonight of 245 yards. Powell's been penalized 5 times, totaling 25 yards. They've gained an impressive 13 first downs in the first half. So looking at the team side by side, pretty much dominated by the Powell Panthers, with the exception of the 71-yard interception return by the Wildcats' Brandon Hayward. So on the ground, Oak Ridge has 3 yards as a team. Powell 41. Through the air, Oak Ridge has 26 yards. Powell 204. Total offense, Oak Ridge has 29 total offensive yards in the first half. Powell 245. First downs, Oak Ridge has 1. Powell 13. Penalties, Oak Ridge has 6 penalties for 49 yards. Powell 5 penalties for 25 yards. Again, this is Marquez. After telling you the halftime score, Oak Ridge trails Powell by a score of 21-7. And we'll be back after this 4-minute timeout.
James Branson back here, joined by Eli Manning, as well as Mark and Shauna Hayes, Drew Thomas, our camera personnel, as well as Alex Waraxa, Andy Hudson doing our top view. We appreciate all of them. We appreciate Brian Bennett back at the station doing the producing tag. We appreciate David Clary, our executive producer, making sure we are kept up. At one point in time earlier tonight, to update you with a couple of scores, we had Clinton and Campbell County were tied at 0-0 at one point in the game earlier tonight. So big other region game because Campbell County is 5-1, having a pretty good year. They defeated Kingston last week, who was undefeated, 5-0, and Clinton had a pretty good start to the year as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting game right there because it kind of looked like Clinton was taking a slide after we kind of took care of business against them. They came in all they're pretty confident they were going to beat us, but we took care of that, and they've kind of been sliding down. I think they haven't won since then. And so, hey, that's a good little game right there. Probably a fun one to be at.
The Oak Ridge Wild Band is on the field playing their halftime show. I'm sure you can hear them in the background doing an amazing job. The Oak Ridge football team, the Oak Ridge Wildcats, are coming back out for their halftime stretches. Obviously, coaches made some adjustments here. Eli, what do you think some of the adjustments are that we'll have to make in order to come back in this game and hopefully win?
Well, I think the easiest adjustment is settle our guys down and stop making mistakes. There for a little bit, it seemed like every time we were on offense, we had a penalty or multiple penalties. And so, that's the first step. Settle down, start executing, focus on your job, and just go out there and take care of business. I think we got to, open up the passing game just a little bit more, try to get our guys a little bit more into space. Defensively, we just got to hopefully get some rest because defense has been playing great. They just kind of wore out there because they've been on the field so much.
Absolutely, and just a couple of updates that we're getting here from around the region as well. The Beavers of Carnes are ahead of Lenoir City 21-14. Interesting score there based on what the Wildcats ended up being able to do to Lenoir City versus what the Beavers are currently doing. And Campbell County Carnes still tied 0-0.
Wow, interesting. I would not have guessed those scores tonight. Very interesting with the Carnes and Lenoir City because we got Carnes coming up soon. I guess they're able to kind of contain Deshaun Bishop there at that running back. But very interesting because Lenoir City did not look very good last week.
Big game that we got going on here at top of the division for the region here between the Wildcats and the Panthers. Both are basically tied here for first place. Winner obviously goes into first place. Loser goes into second place. It's not necessarily a bad thing to be in second place, but you want to be in that first place to have a lot of people coming to you in the playoffs, and you're not having to travel nearly as much.
Hey, I mean, when you got playoffs at Blankenship Field, it is a fantastic atmosphere. You get hyped up. The crowd gets hyped up. We always come out, so it'd be great to have some home field advantage here in the playoffs.
For those of you Wildcat fans that are seeing the field, unfortunately in the playoffs we don't have checkerboard end zones anymore. We always love the checkerboards, but you got to love the field that we have here at Blankenship Field, especially with all the renovations we've done recently, and especially the one that we had tonight, the new Jackie Pope Memorial at the top of the steps to memorialize him. And, obviously all the improvements we made to the new gates and everything like that, which our community has done such a great job of pouring into this program.
Hey, this is always a fantastic place to play, and we're starting to, update some things. That new gate is looking fantastic. They got it painted, so the Oak Ridge Wildcats and the OR there is really popping. The gate's all the way across the field, looking great. The Jackie Pope Memorial is looking fantastic. I mean, this is you can't complain about this place. This is a fantastic place to be.
Well, we have a little bit more time. The Wildcats are continuing to warm up here. We got about a minute or so left before the start of the second half. We will take a 1-minute timeout and bring it back for the second half kickoff. The Wild Band just now leaving Blankenship Field. The Wildcats are finishing their stretches, about to head back onto the field. The Panthers have just broken their huddle in the opposite end zone. We have a 21-7 game here. The Panthers are leading, but the Wildcats get the second half kickoff. And hopefully are able to turn around a little bit of the offensive struggles that we saw in the first half. I believe Mark mentioned to you we have 26 yards of offense in the first half. Obviously, a lot of that is being backed up. A lot of that is being forced into certain play calling based on our penalties, how we've kind of hurt ourselves and put ourselves in third and second and very long.
I mean, you're right, James. When you go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 15, 2nd and 20 at some point, I mean, your playbook gets real limited. And so the defense is able to tee off on you. The times that we were able to get like first down and not get backed up, we were able to get some momentum just a little bit. And hopefully we can come out and execute a little bit better and do those kind of things now.
Obviously, the Wildcat defense has been on point tonight, not been put in great scenarios. I think the field possession is obviously in favor of Powell based on one of our turnovers at least, and then being able to score late, very advantageous for Powell. But like we said, Oak Ridge is going to get the second half kickoff here. Hopefully we can do something with it. Hopefully pick up a couple of first downs, keep our defense on the bench for a little while, get them rested. That way they're back and fresh. And, we talked about him playing really well. Jaden Williams keeping the Wildcats in the game.
Hey, that was a huge play. Got everybody excited, stepped up in front of them. And like you said, James, the defense is playing great, but they're getting tired. And so hopefully they can get a little bit of rest, offense, get a little bit of momentum. At the very least, get a couple of first downs. Start to wear their defense a little bit down. You got to wear that defensive front down. Walter Nolan, as well as those other guys, they're just kind of teeing off right now. They're kind of taking advantage of our undersized offensive line. And so hopefully we can get some quick outs, some just quick passes, or just get the guys out in space, wear them down a little bit, and then we can start having a little bit more fun with it.
You're absolutely right. And, we had a lot of success on those short routes when we were backed up, and we just continue to be able to have that success. We got to have good field position and good stay ahead of the sticks there. As we will have the second half kickoff here, Dylan Stooksbury for the Panthers is going to kick it deep to Xavier James. Back there also is DeJavis Dozier and Jai Hunley. And the kick is away. It's going to be fielded by Dozier at the 5. He drops it, going to be able to pick it up. Got to pick up some blocks now. He goes off to the left side of the field there toward the Powell Panthers. He breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, keeps his feet driving up to the 27-yard line. And not how you want to start the half with the fumble, but nice recovery to get in good field position.
Man, I love watching Bubbles run, man. He just runs through people. He is real hard to take down. Even when he was at Robertsville with us, I just love watching him because he just runs right through you. That's the kind of run you need.
Wildcat offense is going to start in pretty good field position, 27-yard line, their own 27-yard line, with 11:41 left in the third quarter here. Unfortunately, the play clock has already started. The Wildcat offense is jogging out of the field. I see Brandon Hayward and Cam Barnett, as well as Andrew Ferreira, Peyton Sharp. Your quarterback is going to be Hayden Tarwater, and your running back is Jai Hunley. Handoff, fake to Hunley. Tarwater looking downfield, scrambles out to his left, tries to get upfield, and extends the play long enough to where he doesn't lose many yards, maybe one, but, that defensive line of the Panthers pretty quick.
I mean, he's kind of running for his life there a little bit. I don't know if that was a read option or if that was just a play action there, but he faked the handoff and looked backside route, but there wasn't anything there, and he just kind of took off. 2nd
and 12 for the Wildcats. Have it at the 26-yard line. It's going to be 11:33 left in the third quarter. 3 receivers to the right of Tarwater. Snap goes to Tarwater, hands off to Hunley. Hunley keeps his feet turning and legs driving to about the 27, 28-yard line, so it looks like he gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
tough running right there. Just wasn't much going on. Not getting a great push from the offensive line right now, but again, that's a tough defensive line to be pushing around.
That interception by Jaden Williams in the first half, I was just informed by our executive producer, David Clary, was the 20th longest interception ever in the Oak Ridge record book. You know, obviously, Tommy Laurendine and Herbert Booker and Connor Goldmeyer have something to say about that. They have a little bit longer ones, but we resume back on offense. 3rd and 11, 10:49 left in the third quarter. Pass goes out wide, nearly to Andrew Ferreira, just off his outstretched hand, not able to come up with it. So it's going to be a 4th down. I believe the Wildcats are going to bring on the punt unit here.
And James, it's not the start you want there, a 3 and out. The pass just kind of sailed on him there. Unfortunately, we're punting it back to him. Not what we wanted.
Wildcats do have 2 punters back deep. One of those is Brian Kelly. The other is Jacob Bervin. Both are able to fake it. I don't think they will fake it in this scenario, but Jacob Bervin does have a lot of room toward the Oak Ridge sideline. They will be punting to the Jackson Square end zone with 10:45 left in the third quarter. Snap this time is low. Goes to Bervin. He rolls out. Able to kick it downfield. Bounces at the 45-yard line. Is almost touched, but not quite, by a Panther. Ball ends up trickling inside the 35, just inside the 35-yard line of the Panthers.
Hey, good job fielding that snap. It was a little low. It actually bounced on the ground a little bit. But again, good punt. Switched the field position. Hopefully the defense is nice and rested and can get us the ball back.
We have a little bit of a sibling rivalry going on here, Eli, as Andy, our camera personnel, is a snapper at Robertsville. He said he is better than his brother. So, very interesting, Andy calling out his own brother on radio here. But the Panthers have it at their 35-yard line, 10:32 left in the third quarter. Potts has 3 receivers to his right as well as a running back. Potts turns to his right, throws a screen route, is going to get outside, get to the 45, and is tripped up, and I believe they're going to signal he has the first down at the 47-yard line when he fell across the down marker there.
That was just a simple little key route there. He just went right down the line. He had 2 blockers out in front of him from the trips formation. He had a little seam. We didn't have a guy get out there fast enough. And they've got some speed on their offense. Good Lord, we cannot give them space like that.
Powell has it 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. 10:05 left in the third quarter. The play is going to be halted. Most likely, if it is halted, it's going to be on the offense. We have a false start on the offense. So Powell now doing something very similar. They are not very disciplined as well because they've had, I think, at least 3 or 4 false start or motion penalties in this game.
Hey, they're hurting themselves too. So, I mean, we've got that going for us. Hopefully we can take advantage of it.
1st and 15, the Panthers have it at their own 42-yard line. 9:51 left in the third quarter. The Panthers have 3 receivers to the left of Potts, a running back and a receiver to the right. Potts takes the snaps as he looks toward the north end zone. Drops back deep. Heaves one deep. Has a man, and it's going to be incomplete, and that was good coverage. That was good coverage by Justin Crowley. All he did was put his hands up, and you can do that. You can face guard in high school, and a penalty flag was thrown. I have no other way of saying that. I disagree with that. Disagree with that call. It's a terrible call.
Tough break. I mean, Potts had all day throw. He just threw it up. Our guy had his hands up. I didn't see any contact, anything. Whatever. I mean, they're just going to throw that just for the heck of it. Why not?
I think the perception might have been Justin was slightly trailing the receiver. The ball was underthrown because the receiver was ahead, so Potts underthrew the ball. And as the ball came closer to the receiver, Justin did not stop. His effort did not stop. He put his hands up. I didn't see him make contact, but the refs saw it differently. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Wildcat 41-yard line. 9:33 left in the third quarter. Once again, 3 receivers to Potts' left, 1 to his right, running back also to his right. Potts receives the snap. Under pressure by Kendall Jackson. Nearly trips him up. Potts scrambles out to his left. He's got a lot of running room at the 30-yard line. Cuts inside at the 25 down to the 21-yard line. And just an unfortunate play there for the Wildcats as Kendall Jackson nearly had another sack of Jordan Potts in the backfield.
Man, the turf monster got him. God, he had a clear shot. Potts was about to get blasted, and Kendall just tripped right before he got to him. Dang!
Unfortunate play there for the Wildcat defense as they bring a tight end to the left of Potts. Potts takes the snap, hands off to their running back, number 3. He's once again stopped at the line of scrimmage. And
best running the ball. And so, I mean, they're like you said, James, they're just trying to keep him honest. But, I mean, they've had way more success throwing the ball. And I don't know if they're just trying to keep the clock running or what, but they have no success running.
I think the longest run of the night for the Panthers was that previous run by Potts. Potts has it, 2nd and 8, 8:23 left in the third quarter. Potts has 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Potts under a little bit of pressure once again, throws a slant route across the middle, and just off the fingertips of a diving Faust, not able to come up with it, to the fortune of the Wildcats.
Hey, I mean, the fact that he got that ball off, we had somebody right in his face. I think that was number 12. I think it was that Marcus Milton maybe. And so he was right there at him, and he hurried that throw up, and it was just a bit outside of the receiver's grasp, which luckily for us, because he had a step on our guy right in the middle.
Potts and the Powell offense have the ball at the 17-yard line of the Wildcats. 3rd and 8, 8:14 left in the third quarter. Wildcat defense needs a stop here. Potts has it, takes the snap, drops back deep, feels a lot of pressure from the Wildcat defense. Kelly has him, but is able to trip him up. I thought Jordan Potts was going to have a lot of room to run, but Brian Kelly, with a last-ditch fingertip diving effort, made a nice play. Forces a 4th and 13.
Man, I think he went go gadget arm on that one, man. He got just the shoestrings of him, and luckily he got it because Potts had all day to run, and he got him right there at the end and saved a big play.
It is going to be the freshman, Stooksbury, to attempt a 40-yard field goal. Snap is up and down, kick is up, and it is going to be good. So Stooksbury hits a 40-yard field goal for the Panthers to put them up 24-7 over the Wildcats with 7:27 left in the third quarter. We will take a 1-minute timeout and we'll be back after the break. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field, joined by Eli Manning for the kickoff after the field goal. Pop-up kick goes to Melton. Melton takes it, cuts inside the 35, down to the 40, down to the 44-yard line. So Powell goes with a pop-up kick here out of the field goal, and, you know, the Wildcats are going to be put in pretty good field position right at the 44-yard line.
Hey, they were a little scared of the Jarvis Dozier running them over again, so I don't blame them.
Wildcat offense comes back out. We have with us tonight Mark and Shauna Hayes doing our statistics, as well as Mike Sheehan, our camera personnel tonight, Andy Hudson, as well as Alex Waraxa and Drew Thomas. David Clary is our executive producer tonight, as well as Brian Bennett back at the station. We thank you for tuning in to us on 92.7 FM, Oak Ridge Schools Channel 15, and prepradio.com. Hayden Tarwater has the offense, and the play clock is at 3, down to 2, down to 1, and the Wildcats end up having to take a timeout right out of the kickoff. We will take a short 30-second timeout with them. James Ransom back here at Blankenship Field out of a timeout. Wildcats have the ball at their 43-yard line as we have 7:21 left on the third quarter clock. Eli Manning joining us. Eli, do you want to give a quick shout out to anybody?
I'd like to give a quick shout out to my wife and my kids. Love y'all. Can't wait to be down in Florida next week. Let's go.
Wildcat offense has it at the 43-yard line. A little bit of a close formation here. Hayden Tarwater runs a little bit of a counter here with the running back, and that is going to get the Wildcats about 3 yards. Nice little shake-up in the offense there. They usually run a toss play out of it. Came out with a counter.
Hey, that's kind of what we're needing because they are teeing off on the edges right now. I was just thinking right before this, I was like, maybe we should try to attack the middle a little bit more, and that gave us a little bit more room there, so I like it.
Wildcats now have it 2nd and 7 with 6:52 left in the third quarter in the huddle for one of the first times I think I've seen them do that all season. About 10 seconds left on the play clock, so we got to hurry up here just a little bit. Tarwater has, I believe, Kendall Jackson to his left, close 3 receivers to his left as well. Hunley and Jackson both motion, and the Wildcats are going to be called for 2 men in motion as the play clock was just winding down and not able to execute our offense.
I mean, it's like you said, James, we're usually going out of no huddle. And so we're usually right on the line. We're ready to go in there. And so I think we're trying to slow it down to give our defense a little bit more of a rest. But we're taking way too long in the huddle. We got to hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage and run the play.
Now 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats, 6:25 left in the third quarter. Wildcats shuffling once again. I believe Justin Crowley getting set at the slot. Kendall Jackson to Tarwater's left, heading toward Jackson Square end zone. Tarwater takes the snap, gets the ball out quickly to Hayward. Hayward shoves off a tackle, continues to drive his feet to the 49-yard line. So, a nice play, gets you back in 3rd and medium, but you can't have mistakes.
It's like you said, James, we don't have a mistake. That's probably either a first down or a 3rd and 1. But, us backing ourselves up, hurting ourselves again, and we're right back at, in a little bit worse situation than we were earlier.
3rd and 4 for the Wildcats. Need to pick up the first down with 5:44 left in the third quarter. Tarwater takes a snap, looks to his left, throws out to Hayward once again, jukes a man, gets up to the 43, 42-yard line, pick up a first down. That is a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down.
Hey, this is what we need. Start with a first down. Get the first down, and then go to the next play. Keep it simple. Get a first down and keep driving. That's what we need.
And really, those little short passing routes have been there all night long for the Wildcats.
They have been, James.
As the Wildcats have it now 1st and 10 at the Powell 42-yard line. I believe maybe the second time that the Wildcats have been in this territory. And it's going to be an illegal substitution on the Wildcats. So we are backed up once again. 1st and 15. Substitution infraction, as I believe we had too many men on the field. 5:12 left in the third quarter. 2 receivers each side of Tarwater. Kendall to the left of Tarwater. Hayden takes a snap, looks to his right, pumps, under some pressure, has to scramble out a little bit, and throws it just past the line of scrimmage. And the Wildcats are lucky. There's not been a flag thrown yet, and they are discussing it as the ref does throw a flag. Hayden, just under a lot of pressure, throws it away, and is going to be called for intentional grounding.
I mean, he did a pump fake to help try to, get somebody open downfield to take a shot, but unfortunately he just didn't have enough time. The defensive line got through on him, and then he just kind of threw it, and unfortunately there was nobody there.
It's going to be a loss of down for the Wildcats, and the spot of the foul is going to be where the ball was thrown from. So the Wildcats are going to be penalized 5 yards from that spot. It's going to be 2nd and, I don't know, Dean's Restaurant?
What is it? Good.
The Wildcats are at their 36-yard line after starting this
32
series at the 41 of the Panthers. So Hayden Tarwater comes out, 2 receivers each side, looks to his left, throws to his left, completes the pass. Receiver gets upfield to the 45, down to the 47-yard line. So a decent pickup on second down, gets you in a little bit better field position for third down.
Hey, I mean, it's the same. Their hitches are there. Their corners are playing about 10 yards off of them. It's just we keep shooting ourselves in the foot. Like, it's almost a joke right now. Like, what is going on with us? Calm down, guys.
Going to be 2 receivers each side, 3rd and 21 for the Wildcats, 4:20 left in the third quarter. Hayden Tarwater takes the snap, looks to his right, whistles are blown, flags are dropped once again. I think the refs are really enjoying being in the limelight of this game, as we'll have another false start on the Wildcats.
Maybe the refs like just didn't throw enough flags last week and they're trying to meet a quota or something. I don't know. This is getting crazy, man.
Very frustrating. The Wildcats have to be frustrated. The fans have to be frustrated. Really need to execute here. Maybe we run a screen route. Maybe we try to throw it deep if we got a little bit of time. Maybe we sprint Hayden out to give him a little bit more time.
Hey, I mean, maybe take a shot and hope for a pass interference or something. That's probably not a bad little play. Maybe, I mean, we got called for it. Maybe they'll call it on them.
3rd and 26, 4:17 left in the third quarter. 2 seconds on the play clock. The Wildcats do get the snap off. Tarwater is going to try to throw it deep. Goes up in the air. It's going to be picked off. Tipped at the line. Picked off by Faust. He's at the 25, 20, and dragged down inside at the 18. And a flag's going to be thrown on Kendall Jackson for tackling him. But the tackle was initiated. Now we have a whole bunch of players. We have coaches down on the sideline trying to break up the players, and just not a good scenario here for the Wildcats. I don't really think that that's on Kendall there. Kendall, I think, initiated the tackle. If the tackle occurs out of bounds before, and it was initiated before he went out of bounds, that shouldn't be a flag. You can be upset about being tackled out of bounds, but he was tackled in bounds, started, and Kendall finished the tackle out of bounds. You can't ask him to do anything else.
Nah, I mean, he did what he's coached to. I don't like that about 3 of their players jumped Kendall right there. So hopefully they get some calls on it as well, because there's about 3 or 4 of their players came in and started pushing and shoving Kendall there. So we'll see what goes on here.
You know, just like you said, okay, Kendall makes a tackle. They say it was out of bounds. If it was out of bounds, fine, throw the flag. But at that point in time, there is a flag or an unsportsmanlike penalty. And as you said, 3 players went and stood around Kendall, taunting or intimidating him. So why is Powell also not being flagged? In my opinion, it should be offsetting penalties at the least. We have a personal foul penalty on Kendall. No, they switched it. Personal foul on Powell, personal foul on Oak Ridge. It is going to be offsetting penalties, and it is going to be first down Panthers. So at least the refs put first personal fouls on both teams, I guess. But in my opinion, I don't think that first flag should have been thrown.
Tough situation for the Oak Ridge Wildcats here. You had interception. Now they're inside the red zone. I mean, that's just a bad series of events for us right there.
As David Clary said, good job by the Oak Ridge coaching staff getting over there, breaking it up before anything else happened. Even though the Panthers are going to have the ball, I believe, at the 14-yard line of the Wildcats. Going to be 1st and 10 with 4:06 left in the third quarter. Powell's going to come out with 3 receivers to the right, as well as the running back for them, which is Belcher. He is going to motion him to the left, turn to the right, throw a screen pass. That is a lateral, and he throws it back into the end zone. It's going to fall short, and that was number 11, Green, for them on the lateral, and a pass into the end zone. Very similar play that we saw against the Wildcats in the Bearden game.
Hey, we got lucky on that one. That guy was wide open. Good thing number 11 can't throw the ball. So.
And the Panthers not able to convert on that second down, or on that first down there. It's going to be second down for the Wildcats. Wildcats with a bit of luck there of an underthrown pass. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Powell has the ball at the 14-yard line. Powell's going to take the snap. Potts drops back unblocked nearly, throws a route out of the backfield to number 3, and he's going to walk into the end zone of the Wildcats and going to take a 30-7 lead with 3:54 left in the third quarter.
Tough break for Hundley right there. I think he tripped up, and the Potts just threw it right over top of him, and then their running back just went untouched into the end zone. Tough plays, kind of like their last scoring drive right before the half. Tough situation for the Wildcats.
That was Stockton there on the reception as he went into the end zone for the Panthers. Stooksbury for the attempt after the touchdown, and it is up and good. Powell now leads 31-7 over the Wildcats with 3:54 left in the third quarter. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field with the kickoff after the touchdown. Hundley gets the kickoff, goes to the 40, down to the 45, makes a move at the 50, at the 45 to the 40 of the Panthers. Nice return there by Jai Hundley as he takes the pop-up kick from Stooksbury over across the 50, across the 40-yard line of the Panthers, and a great field position for the Wildcats. What the Wildcats did there is they flipped DeJavis Dozier and Jai Hundley on the sides that they were on kickoff there.
Great adjustment right there. Hundley, man, he just smooth, like he just makes one itty-bitty cut and he just goes right by a player, and he did it about a couple of times and got us into great field position, great return.
Wildcat offense is set up at the 38-yard line of the Panthers with 3:42 left in the third quarter. The officials are getting a new ball in. Some of the receivers in for the Wildcats, Brandon Hayward as well.
That was off the route and then came up and stopped the play dead.
Wildcat offense making some substitutions. Justin Crowley came in for Peyton Sharp as he came out of the ball game. 2nd and 9. Wildcats have it at the 37-yard line of the Panthers. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Hayden takes the snap, looks to his right, throws to Hayward. Hayward on a screen route, gets behind some blocks. Hayward at the 30, at the 25-20, slung out of bounds. And if you're going to call a late hit on Kendall Jackson over there, technically, Brandon Hayward was already in the white before he was slung down.
I mean, I agree with you, James. That was pretty similar to what just happened. But, hey, good job by Brandon Hayward. He made one guy miss, and he was able to take off down the sideline. Oh, now we are in great field position.
That is a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down as the Oak Ridge offense has it at the 17-yard line of the Panthers. 2:51 left in the third quarter. Hayden hands off to Dozier, who gets blasted in the backfield and is going to be dropped for a 4-yard loss, I believe. But the Wildcat offense is still within or close to the red zone and still has potential to pick up points here. If you can pick up points, you can stay within reaching distance of this game.
You're right, James. Hopefully we can get a touchdown, not a field goal. But, again, that was just kind of the bad luck of the draw there. The defense called a blitz right in the hole where we were running to. And our blockers, I think we had a pulling guard, wasn't able to quite get there. And that guy just blasted right through the line and got Dozier right as he got the ball. He had nowhere to go.
I believe they're going to give Dozier the 18-yard line that he got up to before he was knocked back. So it is going to be 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 11. A lot better field position here than what they originally marked off. 2:15 left in the third quarter. Wildcats have 2nd and 11. Hayden throws a quick route to Brandon, and Brandon just wasn't able to get his head turned around quick enough, and I think Hayden had a lot of pressure right in his face and wanted to get the ball out.
He did. And again, those hitches are there. They're playing 10, 11 yards off. That's almost like free money, man. You got to get the ball to him. Maybe Brandon doesn't take as many steps down the field, take 2 or 3 steps and then go upfield as opposed to 5 or 6.
It's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Wildcats at the 18-yard line. 2:11 left in the third quarter. Tarwater, 2 receivers each side. Tarwater throws another screen to Hayward. Gets behind the block. Hayward drives to the 15 and is going to be knocked out of bounds right there and is going to bring up 4th and about 8 at the 15-yard line.
Unfortunately, they're just teeing off on us right now, James. I think they've got nobody over top. They're just playing almost right up on us, daring us to throw it deep because they know their defensive line's going to get pressure right up the middle. We just have no answer right now.
The Wildcat offense is staying on the field, and I believe we are going to take a timeout, and that is the case. We will take that timeout with them. We will be back after a 30-second timeout. The Panthers lead the Oak Ridge 31-7. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcat offense will be going for it. On 4th down, they send 5 wide receivers out. Nobody to protect Hayden. Hayden's going to immediately have to run for his life and throw it as fast as he can out to Peyton Sharp. It is going to fall incomplete, and it is going to be a turnover on downs for the Wildcats at the 15-yard line. The Panthers will take over with 1:37 left in the third quarter.
I mean, we went 5 wide on that, and the downside, the risk that you take is if they bring more people than you have to block, there's nobody to pick up those blitzing linebackers. They blitzed somebody right up the middle, and they had, it was just a well-designed blitz. Tarwater had somebody in his face almost as soon as he grabbed the ball, and he had nothing to do. He had no time, nowhere to go with it.
And the Wildcats did try to roll Hayden out, I believe, a little bit there, but as you said, not enough blocking and no blocking from a running back because we had 5 wide receivers out. Powell has it, 2 receivers to the left, and Potts hands it off up the middle. No to maybe 1 yard gain on the play there, and I think the Powells kind of resided to maybe take this one to the fourth quarter here.
I mean, at this point, we're going to have to start trying to strip the ball, get some turnovers somehow to get back in this game.
And that has been the one score of the game for the Wildcats. Here's a pick 6 by Jaden Williams earlier, a 71-yard interception, as Mike Sheehan told us earlier, and Mark Hayes confirmed with the statistics. Potts has it, 2nd and 8, 1 minute left in the third quarter. He takes the snap. As he scrambles out, falls down at the 3-yard line. Had a little bit of pressure in his face, but Potts just fell down.
Hey, he was running. He saw it was that Kelly coming off the end there, and he got a little scared. He's like, oh, God, he's coming for me. And he fell down. And so, hey, good job by the defensive line. Got him backed up. And, again, you got a great situation right here to either force a punt or to maybe even come up with a safety.
Not only that, but if they wanted to take it to the fourth quarter, they're not going to be able to. They have to run a play because the play clock is at 15 seconds. The game clock is at 21 seconds. Powell cannot afford to be backed up any further. If I'm Oak Ridge, I might take a shot and blitz once again because when we blitz, we've forced Potts to scramble around a little bit, and Powell's not ready to call a play, and they end up calling a timeout.
Just like you said, James, our best success on defense has been blitzing people. And, when we only go with 3 linemen up front and try to go into coverage, Potts just sits back there and finds somebody open. So again, we need to blitz somebody here, hopefully come up with either a safety or make him, hurry up his passing, not let him get his feet set and make him make a mistake.
And the Wildcats have come up with a safety at one point this season already. And the advantage, of coming up with a safety is you force the other team to kick off from their 20-yard line, which is going to, again, if the Wildcats can do that, then they will have good field position. We have 8.9 seconds left in the third quarter. Powell is going to have to run another play because they called a timeout. It is going to be 3rd and 23. Powell is attempting to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. They are backed up to Jackson Square on the 2-yard line. Wildcat defense comes out after getting instructions from defensive coordinator Jeff Miner. Potts comes out, 2 receivers each side, and that is going to be Stockton to his left. Potts takes the snap, drops into the end zone, gets it out quick on an out route. Brandon Hayward is there, but it is going to be, I believe, Justin Crowley on the tackle there, and the Wildcats force a 4th down, and we're going to take this game to the 4th quarter as Powell leads 31-7. We'll be back after a 1-minute timeout.
That is the end of the third quarter.
James Branson, joined by Eli Manning, Mark and Shauna Haste, camera personnel Andy Hudson, Alex Waraxa, and Drew Thomas, executive producer David Clary, and Brian Bennett back at the station. Powell forced a punt. They get the punt away. It is a high, wobbly punt, going to be fielded and fair caught at the 48-yard line of the Wildcats. So good field position here. Good starting drive. The Wildcats need almost a Herculean effort here coming out in the 4th quarter, but you've got the ball to start the 4th quarter.
Hey, we got to make something happen here, and it starts with not getting penalties. Like that last drive, what were we? Like 2nd and 36 or something like that. We can't have that. So again, let's try to get this first down here. Let's try to make something happen.
Ja Hunley's made a couple nice plays out in space on the kickoffs. You'd like to see him, maybe Javis Dozier, get some space out of the backfield and room to run. Handoff is going to go to Dozier right out of this, and he fights forward for about a 4 or 5 yard gain. So the Wildcats pick up positive yards on first down, running behind their offensive line. It is going to be 2nd and 5 with 11:36 left in the 4th quarter.
Hey, nice hard run there, and hopefully we can pick it up now. Let's try to go no huddle and try to make something happen.
Wildcats going a little bit faster than they had been at certain points in the game. 3 receivers go to the right of Hayden Tarwater, 1 receiver to the left, Javis Dozier to his left. Hayden scrambles around in the backfield, able to try to throw on the run, and is going to be sacked back at about, I believe they will give him maybe the 43-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
I think it's on us because our receivers weren't even set. Like, Tarwater's going quick, but he didn't check to see if our receivers out to the right were set, and they were still jogging up to the line, so we're probably going to get illegal motion or illegal formation right here.
Maybe an illegal motion. I believe the Wildcats had that penalty earlier in the game. Illegal shift is exactly what it is, and it is going to be on the Wildcats. Powell is going to decline the penalty because there was a sack on the play, and it backed the Wildcats up to the 41-yard line. Oak Ridge is going to have it. 2nd and 18. I'm sorry, 3rd and 18 is what the scoreboard says. Hayden takes a snap, tries to go deep, throws it way up high, wanting to let his receiver come down with the ball, but is going to be intercepted by Wheeler of the Panthers.
Tough break. He just threw it up, hoping for the best, hoping for Brandon to, he tried to give Brandon a chance to make a play there, and unfortunately he didn't get enough mustard on it, and the guy was able to come up with, freaking Brandon has the height advantage on him. It's just bad, unfortunate event right there.
As Brandon Hayward is down on the play, Brandon tried to go up for that pass, throw up a jump ball there to him, and this injury timeout is brought to you by East Tennessee Spine and Sport. When you're injured, call Donnie at 888-5431. Donnie does a good job of taking care of all of his patients. And you know what? Let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout and give Brandon a little bit of time to recover here. The Wildcats trail 31-7 with 10:55 left in the game. James Branson back here on FM 92.7, Oak Ridge Schools, Channel 15, and prepradio.com. Brandon Hayward, the injured Wildcat, on the play. Good news for him and the Wildcat fans is that he is walking off the field under his own power. I believe he might have just tweaked an ankle a little bit.
Hey, great news there. You don't want to lose Brandon Hayward. Like I said, I bet he just came down wrong on it a little bit because he went up high to try to get that ball. Glad he's able to walk off.
Powell has the ball at the 31-yard line with 10:55 left in the game. 2 receivers each side. Potts has a running back to his right. Potts drops way back, feeling a little bit of pressure from the Wildcats. Look, linebacker's going to have to give chase, and they do. Potts has the ball at 45, out of bounds at the 50. And another flag is going to be thrown on the Wildcats. Brian Kelly was trying to just wrap up Potts, keep him upright, and a flag was thrown by the line judge.
That one, I'm going to put that one a little bit more on Kelly there. That was the Potts was going out of bounds, and you got to let up on that. You can't let that happen. Just tough events. We had him in the backfield, and he was able to just kind of squeeze out of there, and there was nobody, and everybody was else in coverage, and just not the best play by Kelly right there.
I believe just some frustration penalties here for the Wildcats, as Powell is going to have the ball at the 32-yard line of the Wildcats going toward Jackson Square. 10:45 left in the game. First down for them. 3 receivers and a running back to Potts' left. He looks to his left, throws a screen pass out there. Going to be a block to get Faust open. Nice tackle there by Price Davis, though.
Yeah, simple little key pass outside. We had somebody coming out there to get him. You might have been able to call a block in the back on there. I don't know. It's questionable some of this officiating is today, but they're just running the clock down now, just kind of chipping away.
As Eli said, the play clock, however, has stopped in both end zones temporarily. Now it is working. 2nd and 6 for the Panthers as they go with a fake handoff across the middle on a drag route. It's going to pick up a first down for Powell just at the 18-yard line.
Simple, just a little play action there. Hold the linebackers just enough to help that receiver get open. Swing it out to him. Nice pickup there, and first down for the Panthers. Unfortunately, they're getting close to the end zone.
9:48 left in the game here. Powell has a first down at the 19-yard line. Potts 2 receivers to both sides. A running back to his right. He gets a quick hitch out route out to his receiver, number 2. Near tackle there by Justin Crowley, and number 2 for them is going to walk into the end zone, Collins, as he scores another touchdown for the Panthers. They will go up 37-7 with 9:34 left in the game.
So Powell's answer to us, blitzing so much as just these quick outs. You've got one-on-one coverage, and if you can't make the tackle when they do that, you get them out in space, they're going to be able to run by you, and that's exactly what happened right there.
It's going to be Stooksbury to attempt with Lesbury to snap. Kick is down, or kick is up and good. It is going to be 38-7. Powell now leads the Wildcats with 9:34 left in the game. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. James Branson back here, Blankenship Field. Powell leading 38-7 over the Wildcats. Going to be Stooksbury. Looks like he's going to try to kick this one back deep. Xavier James back to field the kick, as well as Jai Hunley and DeJavis Dozier. The kick does go deep. It looks like it's going to go to Dozier's side, the home sideline. He's going to take it at 10, down to the 15, to the 20. 25 gets the sideline to the up to the 35, and he's going to be hit out of bounds, but there's no call. There's no call for hitting DeJavis out of bounds, but we'll call it all day for the Panthers.
Hey, can I get some flags? I'll call it. Good Lord, they ain't going to call it on us, but good night. Come on, man.
The entire Oak Ridge sideline immediately erupted. Obviously, the fans are upset, and you can hear them. And, again, if you're going to call it both ways. And if you're going to throw the flag both ways, because that was just as bad as any of Kendall's, but I digress. It doesn't matter. Wildcats are going to have it. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line of the of their own 38-yard line. 9:27 left in the game. Tarwater in, 2 receivers to each side. He's going to take the snap. Hand off to Kendall Jackson going up the middle. No, he keeps it. That is actually Nehemiah Elmore in the game. Nehemiah sneaks forward for about a 3-yard gain. So nice little gain there by Nehemiah Elmore, who comes into the game. He is a sophomore for the Wildcats. I guess trying to get a little younger talent, a little bit of reps here in the varsity game.
Hey, I mean, we've been having trouble all game, so why not try to put some different personnel in and create a spark right there? That was a nice little option play, just trying to make something happen.
Nehemiah Elmore in the game, sophomore quarterback for the Wildcats, 2nd and 8. Ball at the 40-yard line of the Wildcats, 2 receivers each side. Elmore takes the snap, throws the screen route out to Crowley. Crowley with a little bit of room at the 50-yard line is going to be taken down there, but it's going to be a 10-bank of Oak Ridge, 1st down.
Hey, good little pass there. Man, if Crowley could have just made one more guy miss, he would have been he'd probably still be going. But hey, good play there. Good start to this drive right here.
Good reps here for the Wildcats in this game. 8:30 left in the ball game. 38-7 the score for Powell over the Wildcats. Jackson to Elmore's right, 2 receivers each side. Elmore takes the snap, hands off to Jackson, hit at the line of scrimmage, but fights forward for about 2 yards.
I mean, he just, as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, that hole just closed real quick and he got surrounded. But hey, he got a few positive yards, so that's always a plus.
The Wildcats are going to have 2nd and 8, just like they did on the previous 2nd down. A couple of the other new guys in the game. I see Darren Osborne out there, Jaden Williams out at receiver. I believe Andrew Ferreira is in. 7:50 left in the ball game here. Nehemiah Elmore takes snap, going to be quarterback keep. He sneaks up the middle, spins out of a tackle, and is still fighting forward, and is going to be dumped on his head as he was fighting for yardage. So it's going to be 3rd and what I would say about 7 or 6 to pick up the first down.
Hey, I mean, good little keeper there. Get some positive yards. I guess we can start suplexing people now. I mean, why not?
And if they're not going to throw the flags against you, just go ahead and do it anyway. Wildcats have a 3rd and 6, 7:15 left in the ball game. 2 receivers again, each side. Kendall Jackson is going to be to the right of Elmore. David Clary telling me that Elmore had 4 touchdowns in the game on Monday night as he throws a pass out here to Jaden Williams. Jaden on a screen route tried to fight forward, but the Wildcats end up losing some yards, and it looks like it's going to be about 4th and 9, and the Wildcats are going to bring on the punt team.
Unfortunately, Jay wasn't able to get inside enough on that key route to where the outside defender was able to close in on him, and our slot receiver wasn't able to get the block on him. So just unfortunately, it was not a bad play call. He had room if he could have got inside a little bit, but unfortunately their defender was able to get to him.
6:30 left in the ball game here, 4th and 9. Wildcats bring on their 2 punters, Brian Kelly and Jacob Burvin, both with the potential to sneak it. Snap goes to Kelly. Kelly's first kick of the night is going to be a left-footed kick. Ball bumbles and stumbles and fumbles all the way down to the 10-yard line. So, nice little punt there. Powell's going to be backed up. 6:11 left in the ball game. And maybe we'll see a little Wildcat defense step up and hopefully get a quick 3-and-out.
Hey, it's what we need. We got to have a spark. We need a spark right here. I mean, it's not looking good for us, but hey, let's keep fighting till the end. Maybe we can make something happen here on defense. They've been the positive spot tonight, so let's try and make something happen.
Defense for the Wildcats, Marcus Melton at linebacker, as well as Jai Hunley, Jacob Burvin, Brian Kelly. Defensive secondary for the Wildcats, Izzy Mitchell, Price Davis, as well as Jaden Williams and Elijah Rogers. I see Zach Snyder coming on for the line. J.K. Morgan, in at line as defensive end as well, and Ethan Hewitt in at defensive end. Powell has the ball at the 10-yard line. It is going to be a timeout for the Panthers. They were going to have a delay game. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout with them. Powell leads 38-7. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field, joined by Eli Manning, Mark and Shauna Haste, Andy Hudson as our camera personnel, as well as Drew Thomas and Alex Waraxa. We appreciate all of them and their help. We appreciate you tuning us in on 92.7 FM, prepradio.com, and channel Oak Ridge Schools Channel 15. We also appreciate Brian Bennett back at the station and executive producer David Clary helping us out. Powell has it, 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line of their own 10-yard line. It's going to be a handoff run here for about a 6-yard gain. It's going to put the Panthers in about 2nd medium.
I mean, James, I think what you're going to start seeing here is a lot more runs, trying to wind this clock down and try to just close out the game here.
5:50 left in the game here. Powell has 2nd and 4 at the 16-yard line. Looks like they're going to take plenty of time off the play clock here. Play clock in middle school when the ball game is going is 40 seconds, and when there's a stoppage, it's going to be 25 seconds. So I think you're absolutely right. The Panthers are going to use most, if not all, of the play clock here. Potts standing, ready to receive the snap. Handoff up the middle. Balls, and it's going to be tackled just past the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got to the first down yard mark. If he did, it may just be by the nose of a ball.
They're going to give it to him. I mean, why not? Refs kind of got it out for Oak Ridge a little bit, or that might just be us being biased, but who knows. But, James, I think what you're going to start seeing, this defense has put in a valiant effort, but they're about worn out. They've been on the field pretty much all game, and so those 2-yard runs are starting to turn into 4 or 5-yard runs.
Now, credit the defense, running the ball. They haven't given up much at all, if anything. So they've done a great job with that. Powell has three receivers to the left of Potts, one to the right, as well as a running back to the right. Potts takes the snap as he drains the play clock. Handoff goes off right and up the hash to about a 30-yard line, which is going to be another 8-yard gain for the Panthers. It's going to put them in 2nd and 2 with 4:35 left in the fourth quarter.
This defense is gashed right now, man. They're hands on their hips. They're tired. They're just running it right down. I mean, it's just a tough situation to be in.
The Wildcat defense, you'd love to see them get another stop, maybe get the offense back out there one more time. But the Panthers have 2nd and 2. 4:10 left in the game here. Potts with 2 receivers each side and running back to his left. Potts headed toward Jackson Square end zone. He's going to pull up and throw for a short yardage out route. Pass is going to be caught and tackled near the 40-yard line. A little bit of a greedy play, but, you know, I guess you got to change it up a little bit because the Wildcats are going to start selling out on the run game.
I mean, yeah, that was just fake the handoff, sell that run, and then just a nice little out pattern for about 3-yard out pattern. But again, he got about 8 or 9 on it.
Wildcats have a tough schedule going forward. They will have the Greenville Green Devils next week at Greenville as they have their first down at the 40-yard line. 3:35 left in the game. Powell and Potts has the snap. He takes it, hands off to number 13, Wheeler. Wheeler's got some speed, gets around the edge. Not sure if he got out of bounds. They say that he did, and so the clock is going to stop with 3:22 left in the game, but there is a flag on the field. Eli, did you happen to see what it was?
Oh, I thought it was going to be on us for hitting him out of bounds again for something. I don't know. I didn't see it. Sorry.
It looks like Powell is backing up, and it is going to be a holding penalty. So no wonder he was able to get to the edge. They were holding. And it's going to be a 10-yard penalty, replay of first down. So Powell now in 2nd and what's going to be about 22 or 23 because of where that is a spot foul penalty. So it was in the backfield, and it's going to be stepped off from that point. So 1st and 23 for the Panthers, 3:07 left in the ball game. So there's potential for the Wildcats, hopefully to get a stop here. Maybe get the ball back, take a couple shots. Maybe this is a good opportunity to work on end of game plays. I know the Wildcats had a few of those end of game plays against the Admirals a couple of weeks ago where they came up just short after a valiant effort to come back. Several Hail Mary passes. And the play clock has not started. Not exactly sure why. Jordan Potts is talking to the official, the white hat, and Powell is running players on and off the field. Coach Gaddis just kind of pondering what is going on as well.
Man,
I think
just give him a free timeout. Why not? Who knows? They stopped the play for something. I don't know why, but they're just kind of looking. They're just, hey, we'll do what we want.
I think I see the issue over here. The issue is one of the down markers, maybe the first down marker where you pick up the first down. Chain got twisted or something like that. I see the official over there looking at the individuals that are helping work the sticks tonight. So I think that is the issue. It's just kind of interesting that we're going to address this with about 3 minutes left in the ball game.
I mean, why not? We all needed a break, I guess. Maybe the defense come up with stop here and get us the ball back.
And they apparently have fixed the issue, or maybe you're just going to go with the issue. Several officials have really yet to solve the problem, but they're going to wind the play clock anyway and go with 40-second rundown. It's going to be 3 minutes left on the clock. Powell is going to have 2 receivers each side of Potts, one running back to his left. Potts takes the snap, fakes it, throws the out route up to about the 35 to the 40-yard line and is hit out of bounds, I believe, close to the 38-yard line. So it will stop the clock for the Wildcat defense.
Hey, that's just a quick little out pattern there, the same thing they've been running, and I mean they got to get a little yardage, so they're almost back to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd
and 13. Powell has the ball at the Wildcat 38-yard line, or at their own 38-yard line, with 2:25 left in the ball game. It is going to be the Panthers with 2 tight ends close in. They hand the ball off to their running back. He's going to be hit in the backfield by Ethan Hewitt and stacked up and dropped for a loss on the play there. So the Wildcats still fighting to keep the Panthers from picking up the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 13 with 2 minutes left in the ballgame.
Hey, give credit. I mean, they're fighting. They ain't letting them run all over them. They're trying to buckle down right here and get the ball back for us.
Be really easy to, just at this point to say game's over, we're packing it in, but the Wildcat defense, Coach Miner is not going to let his players do that.
That's right. Always fighting till the end. That's one thing that our team has been doing all season. They fight till the end.
As Powell brings in a new quarterback, that is number 14 for them, and that is going to be Cameron Cole. Cameron Cole hands the ball off to their running back, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Doesn't get much further than that. So it's going to be 4th and about 10 yards to go. Powell is probably going to have to punt once again here, and there's 1:18 left in the ballgame.
I mean, that's the unfortunate thing. We stopped them, but that drive took, 4 minutes off the clock? And so, I mean, that killed any kind of chance we had. Like you said, we like to see them fighting, but, successful drive on Powell's part right there.
Wildcats bringing in a couple of subs here on defense, and there's going to be Nehemiah Elmore coming in as well as number 27 for them. Number 27 for the Wildcats is, I don't have him on my roster, running a man on late. Jai Hunley's coming on late. Wildcats nearly get a block on the punt. Wobbly punt gets away. Going to be fielded by Jaden Williams, who takes a fair catch at the 29-yard line. 37 seconds left in the game.
God, we're just so close. Almost had it. Almost. It was just by the fingertips right there, man. Almost had it.
Wildcats nearly come away with their 3rd block punt of the season, but they do not get it coming into the game. A few subs that we see. Number 56 for the Wildcats. I'm going to flip through my roster here a little bit. Samuel Bentley still in, as well as Ethan Hewitt, J.K. Morgan, Zach Snyder, Walker Rice, your lineman. Nehemiah Elmore comes back in the game. Kendall Jackson, still in the game. Peyton Sharp in the game. Wildcats have it. First down and 10 yards to go. Handoff to Jaden Williams. Uses his speed. Gets upfield. Breaks out into the open at the 45-yard line. Just not able to squeeze out of those last few tackles there. And it is going to be a Tin Bank of Oak Ridge first down with 27 seconds left in the game.
Good run by him, but I think he's hurt a little bit. I think he twisted his ankle right there.
Jaden Williams coming up a little limp, and this injury timeout is brought to you by East Tennessee Spine and Sport of Oak Ridge. When you are injured, call Donnie at 888-5431. Wildcats bringing Isaiah Porter in as a substitute here for Jaden Williams. He is going to split out far to the right. Nehemiah Elmore and Kendall Jackson in the backfield. 2 receivers each side. 14 seconds left in the game. Nehemiah tosses it out to Kendall, fumbles it around, goes back toward the Powell sideline, cuts it upfield, and is a loss of 1 yard there. And that is going to be the final play of the game as Powell defeats Oak Ridge 38-7. And it was just kind of a gradual build, Eli. We had a tie ball game. Powell scored first, and then we had a nice pick six there. Good effort by Jaden Williams on the defensive end, but I guess the Wildcats just never were able to get it going offensively to kind of sustain a drive and keep Powell's defense on the field.
I mean, I'm gonna give credit to Powell. They're definitely they're not named the top team in the state for a reason. I mean, they've got some speed. They got some good players all around. But honestly, Oak Ridge kept shooting themselves in the foot today. And again, we were able to hang with them for a good half. But then, like you said, James, it just slowly kept building. You started seeing our defense get a little bit more tired. And then they started just kind of gashing us there at the end.
It's going to be the first loss in the region for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats are now 2-1. Being 2-1, they are second place. I think they are tied with several other teams for second place, maybe. And it's going to be a battle going forward. You got 2 teams left to play. You got Carnes left in the region. You also have Clinton left in the region. So still a lot up for grabs, still a lot to play for. You can still be hosting some home playoff games here late in the season, and the Wildcats have to keep that in mind. Even though the record is what it is, the schedule is not going to get much easier, but you would rather face hard teams now and prepare yourself for the playoffs because that's what really matters.
Well, hey, think of it as a measuring stick. You know where you stand now. This is probably the best team that we're going to face for a while. And so you got some things to correct here. And so now we can take those things and start making them better, start improving so that we get better down the road.
You think about a lot of the teams that the Wildcats have played twice. You think about Sevier County in the early 2000s and late 90s. They played them twice. Dobbins-Bennett, when we were in the same classification, played Dobbins-Bennett most of the time twice in a season. You play several teams over and over and over. The team that wins the first game is not guaranteed to win that second game because the loser has so much more to play for, and there's so much improvements can be taken out of this. Powell is not unbeatable. They're very beatable. Now, they lost to a very good Maryville team, but the Wildcats can take this, and if they see Powell again in the playoffs, I would almost venture to say the game is going to be a lot closer, if not, coming down to a last possession game later.
No, I agree with you, James. It's always harder to beat a team twice. We always heard that playing, and you always see it all the time. And so, like we said, we can get better moving forward, and hopefully this can build off of what we did like last year where we kind of started slow, didn't have a great record to start off, but then we got rolling, we got going, and was able to take it to the state championship. And hopefully we can get something going moving forward here.
We're going to take a quick 3-minute timeout. Hopefully we'll have a scoring summary brought to you by Mike the Wildman Sheehan, as well as the game statistics with Mark and Shauna Hayes. We'll be back after this 3-minute timeout. James Branson back here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats fall to the Panthers 38-7. Mike Sheehan is joining us now. Mike just informed us that the opponent next week for the Wildcats is going to be the Greenville Green Devils, and they're victorious tonight. Mike, I believe you said 66-6 over Seymour?
Yes. Well, 66-7 over Seymour. So it's not going to get any easier for the Wildcats, that's for sure, as we have to travel to Greenville next Friday night.
Absolutely.
Greenville's been tough all year long, and, as you know, James, they won the state championship last year. They just reloaded. For whatever reason, the Wildcats haven't reloaded, and we're just not playing as well as anywhere near as well as we did this time last year.
Yeah, and Greenville's had a really good run the past decade or so. I think they've played in several, more than 3, but I think they've won at least 3 state championships the past decade or so, maybe played about 5.
Yeah, Greenville's been good for the last few years, as you said, especially in this decade. So, yeah, it's going to be a real test for the Wildcats next week.
Mike, you got the scoring summary for us tonight.
I do.
Unfortunately, a lot more for the bad guys than the good guys.
Well, isn't that the truth? And to start things off, the Powell Panthers took the lead early with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left in the first quarter. Jordan Potts threw a pass to Aiden Green from 6 yards out, and the Panthers went up 6-0. Then Dylan Stooksbury came in for the Panthers and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Panthers led the Wildcats 7-0. Then with 7:48 left in the second quarter, the only score of the night for the Wildcats, regretfully, was a 71-yard interception by Jaden Williams. Returned it on a beautiful run back. I just knew he was going to get caught from behind, but he was so determined he wasn't going to be. He managed to get into the end zone to put the Wildcats on the board 6-7. Then the Wildcats, Efren Rodriguez came in and kicked the ball between the uprights for the only extra point of the night for the Wildcats, and the Wildcats tied it up 7-7. Then with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left in the second quarter, Walter Nolan, 6'4", 310-pound senior, ran the ball in, number 99 for the Panthers, and put the Panthers up 13-7. Dylan Stooksbury came in, the kick was good, and the Panthers led the Wildcats 14-7. Then with just 21.8 seconds left in the first half, Jarvis Stockton caught a 5-yard pass from Jordan Potts, and the Panthers went up 20-7. Dylan Stooksbury came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the halftime score was Powell Panthers 21, the Wildcats 7. Then to start off the third quarter, Dylan Stooksbury, their excellent kicker for the Powell Panthers, kicked one in between the uprights from 40 yards out, and the Panthers took the 24-7 lead. And then they scored again in the third quarter with 3:24 left when Jordan Potts threw a 14-yard pass to Jarvis Stockton, and he scored. He put it in for the 30-7 lead. Then the extra point again by Dylan Stooksbury was good, and the Panthers led 31-7. Then to end the scoring of the night, after what I consider a bad call, which Oak Ridge had a few bad calls tonight, but they called a pass interference call outside of bounds. Anyway, it was a personal foul, and the Wildcats gave them great position from 19 yards out. And Jordan Potts threw a 19-yard pass to Jaden Collins, and the Panthers went up 37-8. Then Dylan Stooksbury came in and put the icing on the cake for the Powell Panthers as the Wildcats lose tonight to the Powell Panthers, 38-7. Just a real disappointing night for the Wildcats. They played tough all night long. They stayed in this game, but just Powell just outplayed them tonight. Powell's has a really good team. I was very impressed with Potts, and of course Walter Nolan, as I mentioned before, he's probably one of the most sought after recruits in the whole state of Tennessee, being the defensive lineman, and then to score tonight. It's really, I'm sure that young man's excited. Probably for the first time he's ever scored. Being a big lineman, number 99. At 6'4", 300, he was just hard to stop. He was so determined he was going to get in, and he reached the ball across the goal line. So he gets his first score of his high school career, I'm sure.
Absolutely, Mike, I believe so. And that finished out the scoring for the Panthers and the Wildcats tonight, I believe. Mike says he's got a lot of scores of interest. I was looking those up as well. So, Mike, you go right ahead with the other scores around the area.
Okay, just to start off with it, to repeat myself, Greenville 66, Seymour 7. Dobbins-Bennett trailing Jefferson County late in the fourth quarter, 35-21. That's kind of a shocker. We played DB later on in the game.
They won. Jefferson County won.
Yeah, Jefferson County just won the game, so that's a big upset right there. Dobbins-Bennett's really got a good team, as we know, and they'll be here in 2 weeks. So that'll be another great contest. Looks like South Doyle is beating Fulton 42-21. That's been a great game. Farragut, man, I can't believe they beat Hardin Valley 49-3. West, another great Knoxville team, they beat Heritage tonight 56-6. Knox Central all over Cocke County 69-0. Maryville, imagine that, 42-7, a final over Cleveland. I tell you, Maryville's got another great team this year. And then Campbell County, late in the third quarter, only up on Clinton 14-7. And in the last score ventures at the half, Carnes 21, Lenore City 14. We play Carnes also over there in about 3 weeks.
Absolutely right, Mike, and we appreciate all your help and all your support. I know you've been a lifelong Wildcat fan, and we appreciate you coming every week.
I enjoyed being here. Thank you for having me.
That was Mike with the scoring summary there, and we will get Mark and Shauna Haste here pretty soon. I believe Coach Gaddis is coming up to talk with us here pretty shortly. I think some of those scores that Mike also mentioned, Campbell County ended up beating Clinton 14-6, and Carnes ended up beating Lenore City 28-21. So a lot of fighting at the middle of the pack there in our region as the Wildcats lose their first region game here to the Panthers and are going to be 2-1 in the region as Coach Gaddis has made his way up to speak with us tonight. And Coach, obviously not the result that we wanted tonight, and but like we've been saying, you're 2-1 in the region, still in a good spot.
Yeah, this certainly is not what we wanted or expected. We are 2-1 in the region. I talked to our guys about you find out who you are and what you're made of when you deal with adversity, and we're dealing with it right now. This was they were a pretty dominant team up front on both sides of the ball. We had a difficult time, especially on offense. Now on defense, what's troubling is when you got a team and they can't run the ball on you, they shouldn't beat you. But and they really couldn't run it on us. And our defense played. It sounds weird to say this, maybe 38-7, but our defense played well enough to win. We're 7-7 halfway through the second quarter, and we've done nothing on offense at all, and still tied. But unfortunately, offensively, we didn't do much at all in the second half. Their defensive front handled us, and we knew that they would turn the ball over a time or two, and of course we capitalized, but we couldn't afford to turn the ball over against them, and I'm sure we had at least 3 turnovers that I can think of, and that just can't happen. I thought probably 2 big plays in the first half that were really critical was the one long pass they completed on maybe 3rd and 25 or something like that, and then the interception that we threw right before the half, which we're down 14-7, getting the ball in the second half. We really just can't do that. And I put that on the coaching staff, not on our quarterback. We shouldn't have put him in a position to throw that interception. So that was coaching and not our quarterback at all.
Coach, you mentioned some of the big plays there in the game. And, I think from up here, your defense played so hard and so well, and like you said, it doesn't really show on the scoreboard. I think we just got a little bit tired of being on the field a lot and just not able to sustain drives offensively is what led us to be getting tired.
Yeah, our defense played far too long, and we knew the key to winning this game was ball control. It's easier said than done with Nolan and those defensive linemen they have. And they have great athletes in the secondary. That was going to be a tall order for us, but we just have to play better offensively and keep our defense off the field.
Coach, I thought and like we said, defense got tired. Until the fourth quarter, I thought you guys did a great job of keeping Jordan Potts in the pocket and really not letting him get out and extend plays. And that, I think, kept us in the game for so long as well.
Yeah, we had a couple of breakdowns, like you said, maybe in the fourth quarter, but for the most part, we did a decent job against him. And like I said, our defense played well. If you were here, you saw it and understand that. If you look at the score and weren't here, you wonder. But I don't wonder.
Coach, I know there was a few plays there late in the game that were, to me, on my part, I think I was very upset. Kendall, to me, initiated a tackle. They threw a flag because the tackle ended out of bounds. But, on our sideline, DeJavis Dozier has a nice return. He ends up getting tackled far out of bounds as well, and no flags were thrown. And, my opinion is if you're going to call it, at least call it both ways.
Well, the official did, to his credit, he apologized for that and said it was a missed call. Of course, I wish they'd have called it. But when I responded to him, I said, well, we lost by 31. That play didn't decide the game for sure. Officials have a hard job. They miss one every now and then too, but I'm certainly not going to talk about that play.
Coach, next week, another tough game. We go on the road, an opponent we hadn't played in a really long time. And Greenville, the Green Devils, they've had a really good team. And, Mike and I were talking up here. They just came off a state championship run, and they've had several state championships this past decade. And it's a really good team that we're going to play the next this week and, going forward. Yeah,
I'm not sure they're not the best team on our schedule, to be quite honest with you. Powell's mighty good. Greenville is going to be just as athletic and just as physical up front. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a game for us to try to win. But, we've got to go back to the drawing board, and I'm sure we'll play good defense, and it'll come down to whether we're able to move the football or not and keep our defense off the field.
Coach, I'm not sure the last time we even played at Greenville. Have you played at Greenville before or been up to the stadium?
Not since I've been here either time have we played at Greenville. We played Greenville, I think, in 91 in the playoffs down here, maybe round 1 or 2. Beat them pretty badly, but this is a different Greenville team, I can promise you.
Coach, we got a week here and fall break, a little bit of a odd scenario for football team. Fall break is going to be these next 2 weeks. I believe the past couple of years we've had fall break. You've had at least one of those weeks off. Unfortunately, not this year.
Yeah, that just is the luck of the draw, and this year we didn't draw it very luckily. We play Greenville the first week of fall break. We play Carnes the second week of fall break. Both games are on the road. The only good thing, I guess, about it is we play Carnes on a Thursday night on TV, so we won't have a full week of practice that second week. They'll get one long weekend.
One long weekend, a little bit of rest and recuperation as we continue on in the region. Coach, next week going forward, what's it going to take? We know Greenville's really good, but, we've got a lot of potential as well. What's it going to take in practice going up forward?
We got to do two things, I guess. Forget about this game pretty quickly, because lingering on this particular loss isn't going to help us any. But working on the film, studying it, seeing things we did wrong, especially on the offensive side, and trying to come up with some offensive plan that will get us moving the football, giving our defense a rest, and having some productivity on the offensive side.
Coach, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Look forward to speaking to you. As David, I'm sure we'll have the coaches show on Coach's Corner on Wednesday night, and then obviously next Friday.
Thank you.
That was head coach of the Wildcats, Joe Gaddis, joining us. We will go ahead and send it to Mark and Shauna. Mark is going to have the final statistics for us in the game tonight. Mark, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you very much, James. Oak Ridge, as you said, falls to the Powell Panthers tonight by a final score of 38-7. Leading rusher for the Wildcats was Jay Huntley, 3 carries, 26 yards. Jaden Williams had 1 carry for 15 yards. DeJovis Dozier had 5 carries, netting 4 yards on the night. Nehemiah Elmore carried the ball twice for the Wildcats, totaling 3 yards on the ground. Kendall Jackson, 5 carries, minus 12 yards. Hayden Tarwater had 5 carries as well for minus 31 yards. So as a team, Wildcats rushed the ball 21 times, gaining 5 yards on the ground. Through the air, Wildcats were, Hayden Tarwater starting quarterback for the Wildcats. He was 9 of 17 for 70 yards. He had 3 interceptions on the night. Nehemiah Elmore came in late for the Wildcats. He was 2 of 2 for 8 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats passing were 11 of 19 for 78 yards with 3 interceptions. Receiving for the Wildcats, Brandon Hayward led receivers tonight for the Wildcats. He had 53 yards on 6 receptions. Justin Crowley, 16 yards on 2 receptions. Peyton Sharp, 2 receptions totaling 11 yards. And then Jaden Williams had a reception for minus 2 yards. So, as a team, the Wildcats had 5 yards on the ground on 21 carries. They had 78 yards on 11 receptions for a total offense tonight of 83 yards. Wildcats got, 5 first downs in the ballgame, 13 penalties for 109 yards. Now looking at the Powell Panthers, they were led on the ground by Jarvis Stockton. He had 41 yards on 16 carries. Jaden Collins, 19 yards on 3 carries. Jordan Potts had 18 yards on 9 carries. Brian Belcher had a 9-yard carry. Jonte Dunn, 2 carries, totaling 2 yards. Walter Nolan had that 2-yard touchdown run. And then Connor Wheeler, 2 carries, netting minus 4 yards. So as a team, the Panthers had 34 carries for 87 yards on the ground. That's an average of 2.6 yards per carry. Through the air, the Panthers quarterback Jordan Potts started for them. He was 21 of 32 for 300 yards. He had 1 interception on the night. Aiden Green had a pitch or a screen thrown to him. He tried to throw it. He was unsuccessful. So as a team, the Powell Panthers were 21 of 33 for 300 yards through the air. Receiving for the Panthers, they were led by Darius Redmond. He had 72 yards on 3 receptions. Aiden Green, 63 yards on 4 receptions. J.J. Faust, 43 yards on 3 receptions. Jarvis Stockton had 36 yards on 3 receptions. Jaden Collins, 35 yards on 3 receptions. Jervis Brown had 30 yards on 3 receptions. And Gianni Magdos had 21 yards on 2 receptions. So as a team, the Powell Panthers had 87 yards on 34 carries. They had 300 yards on 21 receptions for a total offense tonight of 387 yards. They had 20 first downs in the ballgame. They had 8 penalties, totaling 45 yards. So look at the team side by side on the ground. Oak Ridge, 5 yards. Powell, 87. Through the air, Oak Ridge with 78 yards. Powell, 300. Total offense, Oak Ridge had 83 total offensive yards. Powell, 387. First downs, Oak Ridge had 5. Powell, 20. Penalties, Oak Ridge had 13 penalties for 109. Powell, 8 penalties for 45. Again, this is Marquez, where the Wildcats fall to the Powell Panthers by a final score of 38-7. James?
Thank you, Mark, for those statistics. We appreciate what you and Shauna do. We appreciate all of our personnel that have helped us out tonight. Mike Sheehan, as well as Eli Manny, as well as our camera personnel, Drew Thomas and Alex Waraxa and Andy Hudson, all doing a great job for us here tonight. Unfortunately, the Wildcats fall 38-7. Eli, your final thoughts here on the game?
Hey, Powell's a great team. Let's just be honest here. We hung with them for a good half, and then we just kind of wore down. Hopefully we can get some things fixed on offense. I think it starts with penalties. I mean, looking a little bit like UT here, having multiple penalties and everything. And so hopefully we can get that fixed. I think that's where it needs to start, clean that up, start executing a little bit better. And I think the rest will follow after that.
For all those people that we mentioned before, in addition, we appreciate Brian Bennett back at the station. We appreciate David Clary being the executive producer tonight and helping us out, as well as, you all that listen to us on prepradio.com, 92.7 FM and Oak Ridge Schools Channel 15. We hope that you tune in to the Coach's Corner show with Coach Gaddis on Wednesday night, and then obviously tune us in next Friday night as we'll be playing at Greenville, a stadium that we haven't been to or maybe hadn't been to in a really long time. So for all of those people I mentioned before, and we thank you for tuning in. So long, everybody.